hopefully, oh, I checked immediately to see if I had done it yet again. Putting my phone next to my microphone, it makes the sound go off. So if there is a sound buzzing, it'll go away in a second. I did it today when I was on Carmela's stream earlier today. Carmaxilla, you guys have seen her on Simcast, and she is a good friend of mine and Lila's, and she's similar to me in a lot of ways. I find her relatable because she's, I don't know, she's the same kind of weird where she's got a good sense of humor, she's into astrology, she's a little bit weird. So we get along, and it was a really good conversation. You guys should go check it out after the stream. And low volume, really? Let me see this. Hold on. Let me see if I can boost it. It was working on Carmela's stream earlier though. And it says on my end. Oh, I see what you're saying. It is a little low. Okay, hold on. Test. Okay. How about now? Now. I have to like click buttons until it works every time, I swear. Test. It lights up for me. It was loud for a sec. Okay, is it loud right now? Hold on. I can't hear anything.
Like.
Just went down. Loud, it's fine. It's good? Okay, it's good now? Okay, cool. Sorry, it's because earlier today, so let me tell you guys what happened in my day. I was woke by my electricity going out for literally 2 seconds. My entire house went out, and I could tell because I saw my air filter light had changed, and usually there's like some background noises, and I heard everything was suddenly silent, and I was like, uh-oh, and it went back on. So I got up out of bed because of that. I had to rise and shine early at the time of 2 p.m. And I actually did go to bed at a reasonable hour, believe it or not. I've been doing a decent job of keeping up with having a human sleep schedule, which for me means to go to bed at like 3 a.m. But because, it's that time of the month, I tend to sleep extra and I get really chronic fatigue. So I ended up waking up at 2 p.m. anyway. I initially woke up at I think 12 or 11, and then somehow I had fallen back asleep 3 hours. So then I woke up to a bunch of notifications and updates about the Eliza Bleu situation, and apparently on Simcast some new details had also developed, and some of which were quite damning, even more damning than we had initially thought. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more clear that it wasn't a non-consensual situation, so to speak. But I have my notes here. Let's go ahead and recap. So, quick little recap. The Quartering posted the same pic from the public video, and Eliza Bleu also got him banned from the public rap music video that is still up, I believe. Eliza Bleu worked with Elon Musk on Twitter safety, so she knows exactly how to abuse the system, especially when it's to cover up her dirty little secrets. Now Eliza Bleu is going around threatening to sue and block anyone who gets involved in pushing the Streisand effect into full force. And then she linked the thread here, which is how it all started, was me pointing out this thread to Eliza Bleu. You guys can watch the previous streams where we go over all the receipts and details. And now not only is Eliza Bleu blocking everyone, but also other people as well, such as, you guys know her, if you guys are OG viewers, Martina Marcota and her husband, Jack Buckby, are blocking everyone. And I found this out through Anna's Twitter, actually, because Anna was blocked by her, as you can see here. Anna said, that's so weird. I saw some tweets on my timeline the other day. I wasn't blocked until recently. I never even interacted with her on Twitter to my recollection. Oh well. Then Anna followed up with this tweet. Okay, I figured it out. She hates Brittany Venti for making this video on her, even though the video was made 3 years ago before I even met Brittany, and is supporting Eliza Bleu's abuse of Twitter safety and censorship. Lovely. So we're starting to see a little bit of a theme here where people that I have covered in the past that don't like me will go and support censorship because it hits their soft spot of both disliking me on a personal level, but also in Martina's case, she also had a raunchy past that I had brought up. And the reason I brought it up was because, number one, it was really, there was a lot of funny things about Martina. It was very laughable. If you watch the video I made on her, it's one of my favorite videos I've ever made, to be honest. You'll see there's a lot of hypocrisy of her basically trying to portray herself as like a Catholic artist type of thing, but in reality she was just kind of a stripper, and it kind of conflicted with her message and showed that she was kind of hypocritical and dishonest and doing things to try to signal boost herself, and she's a little delusional too. And that was the funny part about her saying that she's a fallen angel, and I made a whole little music video of Angel of Darkness, that one. So like it was really funny. And she didn't like it, though. She didn't see it as humorous. And she got really upset about that. And, yeah, so she basically is doing guilt by association to the highest degree, because Anna didn't even know why. She was confused. So, yeah, there's a consistent theme here. And then BX Bullet as well, making tweets. You know, they want to come out and attack as soon as they see Eliza Bleu attacking. So they don't do it on the premise of like, oh, free speech, right? They won't fight for that. What's more important is their personal gripes with me, talking about or making fun of things that they did publicly, or pointing out things that were inconsistent. So there's that. Martina Marcota, BX Bullet. And then there was Cassandra too. Oh yeah, with BX Bullet, obviously she had OnlyFans and was lying about the content on there, and she was doing it on other people's podcasts. I pointed it out. She got mad. She lied. I was like, well, then what's this? And there you go. So something very similar. And then with Cassandra, as I discussed with the Kathy Zhu situation, of Kathy Zhu posting her porno nude, and porno looking nude, looked like professional shoot. And then Cassandra Fairbanks, I guess she goes by McDonald now, Cassandra Fairbanks McDonald, had said that it was CP and got Kathy deplatformed. And again, I don't know if there was additional photos that actually were, but the one I saw, it did not look underage. It looked like a professional, like BDSM-esque shoot where you're like tied up and gagged and nude, and her tits were like, you know, around the rope, like that sort of thing. And so there's I don't know, there just seems to be a common thread here with the people who are not in support of my account getting unlocked. And it's not just about me. It's like, what about the quartering? Even if you don't like me, how does that automatically mean that the quartering's in the wrong too? And are they speaking on the quartering? Because it is very strange that they hyper focus on me and claiming that I'm just a bully. And how dare I post things that are public? You'll see why this is it gets even worse in a second. Why it's not like, oh, because it's not like, oh, I went in Eliza's past and I dug up things to be a mean girl. No, we could see that in my approach, I was very nice, more nice than I am than usual. I was very fair. In my DMs with Crab Crawler, you can see that as I pulled up in the last stream, that I was just trying to find the truth, and I even said I didn't want to step on any toes. And this is because I know that Eliza is very well connected, and I know that she has a good message that she tries to promote against trafficking. And I also am someone big on speaking against trafficking. So there's a lot of things to support why this was actually not this was not malice. There is no ill intent. And yet the worst assumptions are being made about me by groups of people who are sharing a similar thing to Eliza, where Eliza will just block and threaten to sue and get your Twitter account locked for anyone who posts pictures of her that she doesn't like, says something she doesn't like, right? And you see a consistent theme with some of these other individuals where it's very similar. By the way, is my volume good? Because I saw someone saying it's low again. But yeah, my power went out earlier, so that's why my mic reset. It does that like every time that my computer like suddenly turns off. It's quiet. Okay, I'll try one more time fixing it. Volume good. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. Okay, fine. So, anyway, the volume. I'm getting mixed answers. Low compared to other streamers. Volume's perfect. Okay, well, sounds far away. Which is it? Are they trolling? I'm gonna listen to it myself. Hold on. Is it? Are they trolling? I'm gonna listen to it myself. Hold on. Is it? Are they trolling? I'm gonna listen. Imagine that just keeps looping. I don't know. It sounds okay to me. It's slightly low. I'll try one more time. Okay. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. I don't know, like, I really need to switch. I've had no time to actually switch this out. Test. Okay. Yeah, I've had no time to actually switch this mic setup out. Like, zero time. Like, it's just been like work, eat, sleep. Work, eat, sleep. So that's what's been going on. It's the proximity to mic while testing. Oh, really? Is that how that works? You sound better when you speak in microphone. Well, I can't bring it any closer. This is the closest that it goes. So yeah. Anyway. Fist away mic rule. Oh. Was this to make it look like I'm sucking a dick? Is that why you told me to do that? Yeah, I can't pull it any closer, guys. It's a clip-on mic. It's not. It's like clamped on the desk. This is like I could do that. Is that better? It's a real rule? Oh, really? I mean, it's like 2 fists apart. No, it's a Joe Rogan thing. Oh, okay. See, I'm so used to the internet. Like, put your elbows together. So I literally thought it was people trying to make it look like I was sucking a dick. Anyway, so yeah, you see this common theme with the people who are instead of prioritizing free speech, the blame is being switched by saying, oh, I was mean, even though there's literal proof that that's not true and it wasn't malicious intent. And I just want to pull up some screenshots here as an example. And just because this is like and this is a minority of people, most people agree that this is wrong to lock people's account, especially if you're a free speech. Honestly, even if you're anti-free speech and you see a free speech advocate having no integrity like Eliza Bleu and going censoring people, you should say, hey, like, I may not be pro free speech, but that's still messed up because it shows lack of consistency and integrity. Most people can see that that's just true. It is. So we have Martina over here saying, it's not doxing. It was publicly available information. Remember this? When did we become the left? When did we become the left? Okay. Martina, if someone posted a video of like information and then they said that they want it out there in an interview, yes, that would be public information. Because that's literally what happened. Eliza literally said in an interview, which we went over yesterday, that she wanted it out there. And I have further proof of this that I would like to show you guys. Not only the stuff that I already showed you guys and the stuff we went over on Simcast about this yesterday, but also let's take a look at this timestamp in this interview. Eliza Knows talks about plastic surgery, celebs in her DMs, and modeling career, meaning when she was a video vixen, being in rap music videos for like a decade, or at least 6 years. Because some were 10 years ago, and then the one I was talking about was 6 years ago. Okay, listen to this.
What do you have in store for 2016?
2016 is already started, so here we are.
Right.
I'm really happy that the world star video got released. That was good piece to the puzzle.
Does that sound like I'm the left and I'm digging things up to you guys when she says that she's happy it's out and it's a big piece of the puzzle? I don't, to me, that does not sound like I'm dredging up information. Okay? And she didn't say that she didn't want this out there. People were getting blocked by her, but she didn't explicitly say, like, oh, this is a video that was non-consensual, because she's literally saying how it was such a great thing. And this isn't the only one either, by the way, but let's continue for a sec.
Got released. That was good piece to the puzzle. In store, I basically, for me right now, I'm trying to get back to basics of like why I started doing everything. And what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a project that's really like social media heavy. I want to have it. It's really hard to explain because it's basically, let's put it this way. I'm getting back to more of the art and why I started like doing everything. Like if it's not going to trip my trigger, and give me like a fire in my belly, I'm not going to do it. To put it that way. So I'm not
gave
doing,
her a fire in her belly.
BS. Like I'm not doing all that type of stuff anymore. Like I'm really just focusing on stuff that I really like. I'm not even going for the money about it. I'm literally just going for stuff that I really, really enjoy and really like. I'm not doing.
So she got paid for it?
Any BS. If that makes any sense. Not saying what I was doing before was BS, but I think a lot of what my modeling was getting sort of convoluted in money. So money was more of the agenda.
So she's happy it's out there. We have that yesterday in the other interview. And now in this one, we have her saying how she's so happy that her video, the one I posted screenshots of, is out there. And now she's talking about she's happy about like the money, right? She got paid.
Over the last year, and now I'm not even caring at all about the money, and I'm literally just going for what moves me the most. So that's what I'm working on now. It's super bare bones. Like I said, I don't want to be famous, so I'm cool if like this is the level that I stop at, which sounds so weird to most people, I'm sure, but that's...
Yeah, it sounds weird because it's not consistent. She's... Okay, let me tell you what someone doesn't do when someone doesn't want to be famous, okay, she went on a reality TV show. Does that sound like something that someone who doesn't want to be famous would do? You know, she has a long history, a long timeline of trying to be famous, and now suddenly she doesn't want to be famous. I don't know. If I had a music video like that of me out there, doing all this, right?
That is
like,
we go.
I don't know. This looks like someone that wants to be famous to me. Am I wrong? Like you're making a professionally shot music video, bending into the camera. I don't know. This doesn't look like someone humble and modest to me. Am I the only one? Am I the only one who thinks that you would do these type of things if you wanted to be famous? I mean, she got paid for it, but yeah, the point is, though, that she said in her own words in interview, she's happy that this video is out there. So where's the foul play here on my end? Where is the foul play? And why are people making assumptions, even though there's proof that it wasn't a malicious intent? Just because they're friendly with Eliza, just because they don't like me personally? That doesn't seem like good reasoning, especially if people want to be consistent or have integrity, or in the case of like Cassandra, she's like writing journalism. She's like kind of a journalist. She writes things, she writes articles. I've seen them. So it doesn't really make sense to me. I have to say, I don't know, maybe I'm like this and not everyone is, but if it were me and there was someone I personally didn't like, but they were like pretty consistent morally, they were pretty consistent in their values, and they got censored, on principle, I would be like, yeah, they should not be censored. If they just got, I'm talking about they're not breaking the law or anything like that. Like, they just said an opinion that was deemed as unfavorable because, like, it's not liberal enough, and they got censored or deplatformed, or they posted screenshots someone didn't like and maliciously shut down their account, like how Eliza Bleu did. If anyone's malicious here, it's her, especially getting the quartering shut down because, quote, he didn't ask her permission. You have to ask Eliza Bleu's permission before you criticize her, right? So that sounds like some commie shit right there, let me tell you. Talking about she'll die on the hill of free speech, making 100 tweets about free speech. And then there was one thing I wanted to clarify really quick in regard to Cassandra Fairbanks McDonald. So let me pull up the tweets here. Thank you, S'more, for the $2. Fire in the belly equal Taco Bell. Oh yeah. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. You did that with Destiny, right? Yeah, I did make a video about that. Though I will say, like, if someone's pro deplatforming and then they get deplatformed, it's like, well, you made your bed, right? But overall, it's like, if someone's consistent in their values and they get unfairly deplatformed, meaning they didn't break a law, yeah, and why wouldn't you be consistent in your principle? Let me just pull this up really quick. So I had mentioned last stream that that Cassandra had reached out to me to go on Timcast, and this is one of the last things I had asked Hickson to help me with because Hickson stepped back due to medical issues, and so he was in an email exchange with them, and showing me the exchanges as it went along, like the highlights of it. So as you can see here, Mod Frank, where is he? Where is he? Hold on one second. Okay, I don't see his name in chat. Oh, there he is. Okay, there we go. So, as I was saying. No, I don't know why you didn't have a wrench. Anyway, so as you can see here, someone tweeted Cassandra in regard to her saying, no, she's definitely not booked. She's not booked anymore is what she actually meant. No, she was never booked or scheduled. I asked if she wanted to possibly come on a while back, but we didn't end up setting a date or scheduling it. Then Nina said, why not reach out to her now and have her share her side of the story? And then Cassandra says, no, sorry, we're full. So, I don't know. It seems like here a little bit that personal opinion gets in the way of booking people, right? It's a little bit of a power trip. It's a little bit passive aggressive. I'm calling it for what it is. Yes, is it partially true, the technicalities of what she's saying? Yeah, there's some truth to it, and I'll explain that really quick. So there's Tim Pool has another show, and it's with Mary Morgan. So basically, here's what happened. Cassandra reached out, and then Mary Morgan reached out. I said yes to both of them, and I was willing to buy my own tickets. Cassandra canceled, and this is before the Eliza Bleu thing. Cassandra canceled in the exchange with Hickson because, you know, I guess something came up. And then Mary Morgan, who runs Pop Culture, a show, I believe in the same house as Tim Pool, it's under Tim Pool, was still a go. Now, to my knowledge right now, that second booking is still a go. So the first one got canceled to go on Tim Pool's Timcast. The second one, which is still under Tim Pool's same house, and also their emails end in @Timcast, by the way, both their emails. It's under Tim Pool. The second booking, to my knowledge right now, is still up. So I don't know if she's trying to, like, if this will have implications for that. In my personal opinion, based on seeing this, it seems like it definitely will have an impact on me being able to go on Tim Pool, considering that Cassandra books for that, especially after yesterday's tweets of her defending Eliza and saying I was just being a mean girl, even though we had the receipts to prove that that wasn't true, and that the reason Cassandra might be inclined to side with Eliza, aside from the fact that she's personal friends with her and admitted that she will side with her over an internet stranger. So I guess the free speech principle doesn't matter when you're friends with them, but also because Cassandra had a similar situation with her nudes, where someone was deplatformed over them because Cassandra didn't like that they were posted. Again, I don't know if there was maybe one I missed that actually was underage, but the one I saw did not look underage of Cassandra, and Kathy Zoo was deplatformed for it. So, but birds of the same feather do tend to flock together. So, you know, don't be surprised if Cassandra's personal opinion, considering past actions, if her personal opinion will outweigh booking people. And she says in a tweet, by the way, and here she is again saying she's not booked. So I just wanted to clarify that, the specifics of that, like any sort of technicality there. Sorry, I already clarified that. But she says here, by the way, some of these tweets are deleted. So if you're trying to find them, just know that she did try to delete some of these tweets, but I got them anyway. Thankfully, people are looking out for me here. And she says, I don't believe sexual harassment. Oh, let me read the tweet she's quoting first. Free speech is okay until you post something public from someone's past that is less known, may bring up some questions about their history. Then I don't support free speech. And then Cassandra quote tweeted and said, I believe sexual harassment is a free speech issue. Okay, so apparently, the person who speaks up about trafficking for the past 2 years and has done research on it, read books on it, speaking up on it, speaking against it. Apparently, I am being accused of sexually harassing now by Cassandra, who writes articles and does journalism. Is that not, like, am I interpreting this wrong? Like, this is what she's saying, correct? This is kind of liable, no? To say sexual harassment? Because she's implying me. I'm sexually harassed. I'm not sexually harassing anyone. As we saw, if you rewind the stream or look at yesterday's stream for additional receipts, I posted a screenshot of a public rap video that Eliza not only bragged about being in, but talked about her making money and how she was so happy that World Hip Hop posted it. We have actual recording of her saying that, but I'm the one with malice and not Eliza Bleu for locking my account. And now it's sexual harassment. That is a serious claim, Cassandra. That is a very serious claim. And it would ruin someone's reputation too, which would cost them money. This isn't right. And this is someone who's booking for Tim Pool, a free speech advocate podcast. So when you move on to the second tweet about her not booking or writing someone is not a free speech issue, well, here's the thing. Yes, it is, because there's clear bias here, who you'll side with, and how passive aggressive she was in her prior tweet about sorry, we're full. So yeah, on a technicality, yeah, are they full? Of course they're full, they're Tim Pool, but you know she's saying it this way for a reason. For a reason, considering her past tweets of her saying that I'm just being a mean girl. So if I'm a mean girl in your eyes, then I deserve to be deplatformed for posting something that Eliza claimed to be proud of and happy was out there. This is just getting insane. So I don't know how anybody doesn't see how it's not valid for me to have a concern here when I'm getting lied on. It's implied that I'm sexually harassing someone. And how this might be a concern, the person that is implying that I'm sexually harassing someone for posting something that was public that they were proud of is the person booking for Tim Pool. So yes, it is a little bit of a free speech issue when his whole thing is platforming anyone who wants to talk to him about the topics. Yeah, having that bias of, oh, suddenly free speech doesn't matter when it's my bestie is a conflict of interest. Yes, it is a free speech issue, actually. So and Cassandra was like this whole thing of Cassandra claiming I'm a mean girl, having a bad faith assumption of me is on her. She started this. I'm responding. Same thing with Eliza. I was very nice about it. Even if I weren't. Even if you wanted to lie and say I weren't. Even though there's literal proof that it wasn't malicious. By Crabcrawler1 on his Twitter posting our DMs. Me asking him about it before I proceeded. With timestamps. You could see, like, in my interaction with him. I don't remember the exact, like, time for the tweet because Twitter has censored it. But I recall, like, it was before I had posted about it. Or right during it. Because I genuinely just wanted to know. And I told him I didn't even want to step on toes. And Crabcrawler is someone that I had gotten a lot of information from about the Andrew Tate situation. So, of course, I'm going to be authentic and genuine with him, considering he's also a journalist, right? And I use some of his stuff to do my own detective work, so to speak. So I don't have a reason to, like, lie to him. That's kind of a conflict of interest for me. So this is a bad faith assumption for no reason other than Cassandra being friends with Eliza Bleu. These individuals are supporting Eliza Bleu based on their hatred of me rather than on principle. And moments like these will really show who has integrity and who doesn't. So I really hope that Cassandra doesn't allow her personal biases to be worth more than the principle of freedom of speech. But, yeah, you guys see it for how it is. I just wanted to clarify everything and why I do think it's a conflict of interest and that it's wrong. And you shouldn't be deplatformed just because you're besties with someone. Sorry. Like, she literally said she was proud of it. I don't understand how you can continue, how anyone could continue to defend Eliza Bleu and be like, well, yeah, because let me put it this way. If this were about anyone else, guys, if this were someone on the left and they did this, do you think they would be like, oh, well, the person on the right was, like, kind of meanie, though? No, they wouldn't be like, oh, but you were mean. They would just be like, wow, you just deplatformed. They wouldn't give a shit if someone was the meanest person on earth. They'd be like, no, on principle, you deplatformed them. So you're in the wrong. But suddenly, when people are buddy-buddy in this industry, especially on the right too, not just the left, but also on the right too, especially in the case of people who flip like Cassandra did, right? It's not, and by the way, which is not a good look if you're flipping from being a Bernie supporter to conservative and then you're doing a leftist tactic. It doesn't look good. It makes you come across as grifty. So that's not something you want to do, especially if you started out from a different political point. It doesn't look consistent. It doesn't look good. So biases are clearly coming into play here. You should pay attention to people supporting Eliza Bleu through this not because I dislike Eliza Bleu. Eliza Bleu was very blatantly lying and in the wrong. That's the thing. So if somebody continues to say, no, but Brittany was meanie, but they're claiming to be a free speech advocate as well, then you can see it for what it is. Then you know there's something inconsistent here. If you're defending Eliza Bleu, you are not pro-free speech. End of story. If you are saying, no, but Brittany was meanie and trying to shift the blame on me, you are trying to defend Eliza Bleu, and you are not consistent in your principle, and you are not pro-free speech. If you support Eliza Bleu, you are not pro-free speech. End of story. I've given every receipt possible. We have gotten literal recordings of Eliza talking about how happy she is about it. I honestly, guys, I don't know what more could be provided at this point. It's very black and white. Yes, I agree, Aiden. Jeremy, thequartering, and I did nothing wrong. There is nothing to defend Eliza about. Eliza is not a fucking victim. She's a professional victim, but she's not a fucking victim in this situation. She has made other people her victims, if anything. So if anyone was a victim or had malice, it was Eliza Bleu. It would be one thing if this were just like Eliza Bleu dick riders, like how Amanda Jean is, sucking every turd out of Eliza Bleu's asshole through a straw, right? But it's more frustrating when it's people who claim to be anti-cancel culture and pro-free speech. That's when it becomes insanely aggravating, especially when it's costing me money. And I thought about this, you know, Tree of Logic, who, by the way, she's very funny, who was on Simcast last night. She asked me, because she was playing devil's advocate, and she asked me, well, if Eliza Bleu came out and apologized to you, would you accept it? Like, she admitted wrongdoing and she apologized, would you accept it? I have an answer for that. I thought about it, and I was like, this isn't really about a like, oh, you did me wrong and hurt my feelings and apologize. This is a business. She's affecting my business. She has made me, sure, she's giving me free advertisement in a way with the whole free Brittany Venti thing trending, but I can't access 86,000 of my followers. I can't tell them I'm streaming. Some of them still don't know I'm streaming. Some of them may still not know about this, okay? I can't check my DMs. I can't contact certain people right now, people who are business related for my channel. This is damaging my business. So if she truly was sorry, I will not accept apology. I'll accept an apology when she not only apologizes for what she did, but she puts her money where her mouth is. Because that's what she's done. That's what she did, guys. And you think I'm in the wrong for that? What about Eliza? What about her tweet saying that she's going to sue to the fullest extent of the law? What do you think that means? It means to get money. So if she's going to threaten that and say that and shut down my Twitter account, affect my business that I have to pay taxes on every year. I've been streaming 9 years. If she's truly sorry, then she will put her money where her mouth is in addition to an apology. And then I might consider accepting the apology for all the stress and time. The time I've had to take out for this bullshit, the amount of stress I've had to deal with this bullshit, the amount of bridges that were burned because of this bullshit, this lie that Eliza has perpetuated to ruin my reputation as well as others partaking in this libel, claiming implying I'm sexually harassing her. Eliza implying I posted non-consensual images of her when she's out here bragging about she's so happy it's out there in interviews. No. A simple apology will not suffice. You will put your money where your mouth is, and you will compensate for what you've done to make it right. And I will give an example of this. Not only did Eliza try doing that, by the way, her threatening to sue me to the fullest extent. Oh, she can play that game? She can play that game? Okay, but if I say something is wrong, get out of here. Let me give you an example, okay, of on the right when something like this happened and the right thing was done. I'm going to give you an example. Blair White. I followed Blair White since pretty much day one. I remember when she had 20,000 subs on YouTube. I have watched most of her content. I had consistently watched her content for years. I'd seen every video. Blair White, in the past year, just when she was about to hit 1 million subs, I believe she had hit it, and then she had lost 20,000. And the reason for that was because she made a video on a trans athlete and got a piece of her information incorrect. She said that this trans athlete had competed with women when it was not the case, and it had damaged the reputation of that trans athlete, and she got a lot of slack for it because Blair White, it's going to look bad on her because she's someone who speaks on the truth, and she's anti fake news, right? When you're pro free speech, you're basically also anti fake news and such as well. So in Blair White's case, it looks extra bad because, you know, you're expecting her to get her stuff right, and she's always telling the truth, etc., right? But Blair White did the right thing by compensating the person. She said, I'm sorry, deleting the video, here's my video addressing it, and all of the ad rev I made off that video, I'm going to give to the person that I got the news wrong about. She did everything correct. That is how you apologize. Blair White got it correct. Whether you like her or not, she made right by her. So that is how it should be dealt with. A simple "oh, I'm sorry" is not going to make up for what has happened these past 3 or 4 days. So take notes from Blair White in that instance. That would be how you solve that situation. But as of right now, there's a lot of damages being made. Now that's how to be a man. Well, it's to have honor. If you want to say having honor is more of like a masculine thing. But Blair White did the correct thing because she actually had she had honor. Eliza Bleu, not a very honorable person. Like, even if you like her, you have to admit it. Like, this is not something an honorable person would do. They would not censor YouTubers for posting something that they claim to be proud of. And then we're supposed to magically read her mind and also DM her when she literally tweets out, do not DM me. I'm unfollowing a bunch of people so that people stop DMing me. I showed this tweet on yesterday's stream. So every base has been covered. There is no ground to say that Eliza Bleu was in the right at this point. I think everyone can see that. If you've truly followed this and you've seen everything come up to the surface, where is she in the right? I am what I am. Super chat at $100. Thank you. Do you have Subscribe Star account like Jeremy? No, I have a I have locals. If you're looking for something kind of like alt techie, I have locals. Censorship is never right. I think that free speech is basically to allow speech that does not break the law. Posting a screenshot from a public music video that she bragged about is not against the law. And it's not mean either. It's also not mean. It's also not mean in any way. So there's more that I want to talk about as well. But yeah, these I have to dispel the fiction. There's a lot of fiction going around by people that it's shocking. Like, I would not expect that of someone who, like Cassandra, for example. Like, maybe I would expect a Martina, but Cassandra is someone who has written things, who is supposed to have some sort of journalistic integrity, someone who books for a free speech podcast. I would expect better from than to make such a terrible claim insinuating that I would sexually harass someone. That is disgusting. And that's not something that should be thrown around lightly. This is my job. And that is an attempt to ruin my reputation because of you having a bias for your friend. That's not an excuse. It's fucked up. And I don't care. And you know what? And if this makes it so I never get to go on Tim Pool, guys, then so be it. If me defending myself makes it so I don't get to go on Tim Pool because Cassandra Fairbanks doesn't like me, their booker, because I dared to hold the principle of fighting for free speech, not just for myself, but also for Jeremy too, who's locked, then so be it. Then so be it. And also, with Eliza Bleu, might I add, Miss Professional Victim, who's being sexually harassed, apparently. The victim, the terminal victim, is also getting links banned. Okay, I don't know how you would think she wouldn't influence this, considering she was the one backing up, oh, I got the images taken down, and she admitted it to Jeremy, too. Now you can't even post a link without getting a warning about it. Hey, it may be unsafe. Oh, really? It may be unsafe? It may be unsafe. Oh, interesting. Then what's this then? Then can Twitter explain this if that link may be unsafe?
I'm really happy that the World Star video got released. That was good piece to the puzzle.
Really? Non-consensual? May not be safe? Okay. Well, she seemed happy about it. She seemed happy it was out there. And if that wasn't enough, if you're like, maybe, just maybe, there was another video out there. Maybe she's not the one censoring the links. Okay, then let's take a look at this. This is another rap music video she was in 10 years ago. Okay, the other one was 6 years ago. This one's 10. Okay, she's in this video. You see her right here. She's dancing in the video. It's not as explicit as the other one. But she's in there, you know, she's dancing along with the hip hop rap and beats. And if you scroll down, you know what's interesting is right here. Eliza Bleu, 9 years ago, so a year after it was released. I love this video. Thank you for letting me be part of it. P.S. haters, please relax. It's not that serious. And what do you know? It's her actual account. With the video of her calling her mom, asking her mom what she thinks of her being in rap music videos, if her mom is happy about it.
Well, yeah, I was just calling you because I wanted to get your feedback and see what you thought about me being in music videos.
Being in a music video?
Yeah, about me being in music videos. You know how I started being in music videos and I started a blog about it.
Hold on, can you repeat everything? Because I had to turn my phone off. I couldn't hear you.
Did you
Does
turn
this
it
sound
up?
non-consensual?
Yeah, I turned it up.
Okay, I just wanted to see what you thought about me being in music videos.
That's fine. You've done music videos before.
I know, but what do you think about it?
I enjoy it. I think it's fun. You've always loved music. You love to dance. You like to have fun. I think it's fun.
She looks happy, right?
Have you watched a couple of the music videos that I was in?
Yeah, I've watched a few of them.
You told me that you thought they were funny, right?
So, yeah. Her actual YouTube account with her on it, saying that she was so happy to be in the music video. So will that one also be called trafficking if you posted screenshots of it? Is this me digging into people's dark past and going through their MySpace archive to post embarrassing photos of them? Or is it just Eliza deciding to change her story? Like, this is very blatant attention seeking, miss. I don't want to be famous. Like, it's just lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. So, I genuinely don't understand how somebody can defend Eliza at this point. I genuinely don't. Like, how could you hate me so much that you will support censorship when she is so blatantly in the wrong? I don't understand it. I don't care how biased I am. It wouldn't be me. You don't have to be rude about it to them. Just be like, yeah, sorry. Like, you were in the wrong there. Ghost Crusaders, $9.99 super chat. Cassandra talking mad trash. Yeah. And it's like, but would you do this in any other case? With censorship? Or when it comes to free speech? Would you be pointing fingers at the person who got deplatformed? No, you wouldn't. Because you want to know how I know that? Because how everyone handled Andrew Tate. They were like, oh, I don't like him, but he doesn't deserve to be deplatformed. And this was back when he had admitted to working with the Romanian mafia. That was already out at that point. I was talking about it. People were giving me crap for saying, hey, well, like, supporting the mafia, which is responsible for trafficking the most people, the Romanian mafia in Europe. They're one of the top 5. Romania is one of the poorest countries, and they're trafficking women, and Andrew Tate's saying he's doing business with them. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's breaking the law. That's not free speech. And then people got down my throat for saying that. For saying that, helping traffickers and funding them and doing business with them is not free speech, and admitting to it and bragging about it. And then we find out later about the website too. Him admitting to using a trafficking method. Him on film admitting to using alcohol to get girls on camera and then flying them into a foreign country while doing all this. Get them to do explicit things. But, people when he got the platform, they defended him. They were like, oh yeah, even people who are like Christian and super conservative, all that. They're like, no, but Andrew Tate shouldn't be deplatformed though. So if people were willing to defend Andrew Tate then, even though he worked with the Romanian mafia, it was out there at that point. Him using a trafficking tactic was out there at that point. How come they'll defend that before they defend me? That's kind of odd, isn't it? I would like to think that I at least do better morally than Andrew Tate. Having to do all that to trick women to go on camera. Right? Having to get women to talk to the other women into doing it. Because he knows if he asks, it won't work. Just like Jeffrey Epstein did with Ghislaine Maxwell. had her help traffic, because why? It's easier for women to help traffic. This is a known thing. Women will help traffic because people lower their defenses around women. So even Andrew Tate got more of a benefit of the doubt than I did with some of these people. It's like, or I shouldn't say individually, but like as a whole with the community, I should say. So some people are in support, right? Thank you to everyone who's supported me, who's supporting free speech and is consistent. And speaking about the Eliza Bleu thing, I'm very happy about how many people are speaking in terms of like the numbers. But a lot of YouTubers still aren't covering it either, which is kind of odd because this is a big deal. It's not like, oh, why aren't they covering me? It's like, no, someone who helped develop this system to help children and has now utilized victims of trafficking, right? They use that as a way to abuse power. Eliza Bleu. She was in talks to Elon Musk. Elon Musk makes this system, and then Eliza Bleu uses this system to shut down others and deplatform them. Me and thequartering. So that's a big deal when you have someone that has inside connections and they're abusing that same system, because she said, thank you, Elon, for keeping your promise to me. She made a tweet about this. Thank you, Elon, for making a promise to me about removing the CP problem off of Twitter. And now that the system's in play, she uses it and exploits it to deplatform people because she felt like it. That's a huge conflict of interest. That's a huge thing to cover in the news. Don't want to talk about censorship. What's the whole point of Elon buying this? To prevent this? To not do this? To not have abuse of power? And now some like rap video girl, some rap video woman shaking her ass has the power to go poof, poof, poof and get links banned too? Isn't that kind of a big deal? Shouldn't everyone be addressing this and talking about this? This is a very good case for the problem with the censorship going on and abusing Twitter systems. It's a big case for deplatforming people, like a very clear-cut case. This isn't a gray area thing. Eliza Bleu has given us all the information we needed. Queen of snitching on herself, just like Andrew Tate's the king of snitching on himself, queen of snitching on herself. Very clean-cut case to cover on the topic of free speech and why censorship is bad. Like, why does she have power to do that? Why? Who is she? So I really think that I really implore other YouTubers to cover this, especially when it's ones that like thequartering, like he's kind of a big channel. He has like 1.5 million subs last time I checked, right? At least over 1 million. He makes several videos every day, covers the news, and she's literally silencing someone who covers the news. And Eliza's the one who's claiming she will die on the hill of America having freedom of press. And she literally decides to censor someone who kind of is the press. He covers the news every single day. So obviously that's bullshit. Obviously it's very clean and cut for what this is and what she is. Reminder, I want to be clear. I'll die on the hill of free speech in America. She has many tweets. It's not just that one. It's not a gotcha. She has several tweets. If you want to go look at them, her talking about how America needs to have freedom, freedom of press, freedom of speech, but then she censors someone who covers the news. On no real basis. On no real basis. She wanted this content out there. Now suddenly it's a problem. So, there you go. Perfect case to cover about this. There's no reason not to. She is 100% in the wrong. Anyway, there's some other things I want to go over as well. Yesterday, I had to go on Simcast, so I ran out of time to actually cover something that I said I was going to cover with Eliza. And it's this video where she titled, Eliza Knows I Refused a Booking Request to Have Sex for $150,000. And there's some relevant information there, so I wanted to give that, or at least part of it, a watch for you guys, because it just solidifies what I'm saying even more. But really quick, I just wanted to give yet another example. Eliza has a page on modelmayhem.com where she claims to be a female model, and as you can see, she has all her info here. And yeah, this doesn't look like it's non-consensual. She's bragged about it. She's in rap music videos. Here's her resume right here. Video vixen in over 20 hip-hop and rap music videos. She's bragging about it. She's using this as a highlight for herself. She's like, hire me, this is a highlight. This is basically a resume. So there's like no straws left to grasp for to defend her. There's none. 772 Hustla, $20 super chat. Where do these CIA lackeys come from out of literally nowhere? Control opposition, take them down, queen. Well, she was, how she got her claim to fame. She's been in a few things, right? She was on Dr. Drew. She was on a reality TV episode for dating. We saw that on Simcast last night. But her real claim to fame was through Elon. That's when she got the boost. If you actually look at her social blade, I saw that on Quartering's video. So, that's how she got her claim to fame. That was her biggest bump, I should say. Junior $5 super chat. Crabcrawler just disavowed Eliza after her latest tweet. Yeah, even Crabcrawler was like trying to be impartial and fair and, you know, trying to be nice about it. And even someone who's people who are friends with Eliza, obviously not Cassandra, obviously not Martina, who's not friends with her. She's just doing it on the basis she doesn't like me. And BX Blood, obviously, they all have something in common, and they're a little inconsistent. But everyone else who is even friends with Eliza at this point is like, this is too damning. Most people are like, this is too damning. So what does that tell you? Glenn Quag, $5 super chat. Martina has every right to hate you after the video made. Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay, hold on. So you're telling me, you don't think that this is entertaining?
Angel of darkness, angel of darkness, the world is in your hands, but I will fight until the end. Angel of darkness, don't follow your commands, but I will fight and I will stand.
I'm evil? You can choose to be bad or good with it, you know. Do I want to be the demon or do I want to be the angel?
She literally thinks that she's a fallen angel. And you're telling me I'm not allowed to make a video mentioning that? You're telling me this is a person I have to take seriously, and how dare I? How dare I make fun of them? How dare I laugh about the shit they say? How dare I point out that they're claiming to be a Catholic conservative, that she's, oh, I'm an artist. That's how she tried to explain away her being a stripper, was saying she's an artist. Like, I'm just, guys, it's just so tiring. It's just so tiring of girls on OnlyFans calling what they do art. Like, stop. If you have a problem with it being sex work, prostitution, interchangeable, sex work's just destigmatizing prostitution. That's why the word was created by Carol Leigh, a streetwalker, okay? if you have a problem with the prostitution aspect of being an OnlyFans girl, you have a problem with the prostitution aspect of what you're doing, you're trying to separate it so desperately to call it art, to call it modeling, then you shouldn't do it if it's such a problem for you. And I don't really see a problem with, I like this video I made. I haven't rewatched it in a while, but overall I remember having a lot of fun making it. I provided the receipts, and I think it's fair for me to point out when someone's coming across a little grifty and they're a little narcissistic, is a little laughable, and someone's inconsistent. They're like, I'm Catholic conservative, but then, and I'm an artist, it's not stripping though. And meanwhile, there's literally like videos of her like grinding on someone's lap naked or close to it. Like, I think it was just like underwear on. But that video is age restricted, so you have to log in to find it, by the way. It's called LOLCOW, the Catholic stripper Martina Markota. I still think overall it was a funny video, so I don't know. But sad to see her abandon free speech principles over personal feelings. Yeah, gotta say it, it's mostly women doing it. Gotta take note. I'm sorry, like okay, I'm trying to be fair. If I saw that a guy, like I'll straight up tell you guys, I'll be like, yeah, men commit 90% of violent crime. Yeah, men commit, like, for example, people who are like, oh, do something violent to TERFs, like people who are trans exclusionary, radical feminists, that's what the acronym means. People who are trans exclusionary, they're making threats to them, saying that we should unalive them, right? Why? Isn't it men? Isn't like almost 100% of cases, like damn near 100% of cases of violence toward trans people, aren't they committed by men? Like, guys, we're allowed to say statistics about other things, right? So, but I'm not allowed to talk about it if I say the word men. Like, it's true. It's true. It doesn't mean that you watching are going to do that. It doesn't mean you watching are violent, but, you know, that's the statistic, right? So, like, why are they out here trying to talk about, oh, hurt TERFs? Like, TERFs are mostly women, by the way. Like, 90% of them are women. So, hurt them? Like, they're not even the ones committing the crime against you. It doesn't even make sense. So, yes, I am going to say it how it is. Like, yeah, in this instance with the Eliza Bleu thing, I am mostly seeing women defend her, and it's women who all have a common link of having a past that they didn't want people to see. So that is what it is. It's mostly women kind of being inconsistent with the freedom of speech principle. It's true. Not that there aren't men. There have been many men in the past who false flagged and got caught doing it. But in this instance, when you're calling out someone who's has a problem with her past that she was so proud of, apparently, that regrets it now, so now you're not allowed to talk about it or post or ask questions about it. Now all the women who fall in line with that have a problem with it. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's a coincidence. Lesbian Towel, thank you for being a subscriber for 28 months. Calling prostitution sex work is no different than Tony Soprano calling his occupation waste management. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good example, though. S'more, $2. Did you know Martina was on billboards, though? Yeah. How could you not? She was on billboards and shit. I had a good time making that video. Deranged Lunatic, $4. Brittany, I'm sorry you have to go through all this BS. You definitely don't deserve it. There is a Bible scripture. You reap what you sow. And the ones that doing this to you will reap what they have sown. As always. As always. Thank you, Isabella Live 2.0, for being a subscriber for 12 months. A year. Wow. Proud to be your friend. Friend is an intimate term. Friendly. Use the hashtag free Brittany Venti. Yeah. Like I said yesterday, if this dies with me, it won't be the last time that you guys hear about this. It won't be the last time someone's censored for posting a screenshot. It won't end with me. Unless the problem is fixed. What about this BX Bullet woman? Oh, okay. So BX Bullet, basically what happened was she went on a podcast I was on with Anna, and she was saying, oh, her OnlyFans is just cosplay. And I know that that was a lie. And so I had said, well, that's a lie, though. And she was like, basically, I showed that, okay, then how is this a lie then? Here's the receipt. She got mad about it. She copy-striked me. And then she proceeded to go on a rampage about me losing her mind over the course of weeks, just screaming on Twitter and then demanding Cucy tard wrangle me. Like, how dare you, basically thinking Cucy is my controlling puppet master, pulling a Karen, because I dare pointed out, hey, you're lying. There's like basically no cosplay on your OnlyFans. Someone sent me these. This does not look like cosplay to me. It was just basically nude photos of her saying like, if you want more, let me know, type of thing. And her being almost naked and doing like, basically like what you saw in the Eliza Bleu music video. It was like that. It looked like that, but even less clothing and more provocative in the captioning. And she got really mad. And then Destiny spoke on it, was like, no, but actually you are kind of a prostitute though. And then she got even more mad because even Destiny was like, call it for what it is. It's like, that's pretty bad when even Destiny, like he's in an open marriage. Even Destiny has to be like, no, but actually you're coping. You're wrong. This is what you do. And she got really mad about it. And she also had a YouTube video of her talking about like Destiny is responsible for his audience. It's like, this is some commie shit. You know, and these people, they tend to think like this. Birds of a feather flock together. And it really is the saying for this leak. Anyway, thank you, VH, for the $2 super chat. Aiden Paladin, $10 super chat. Thank you. The main message of Christianity is forgiveness. One of Christ's closest followers was Mary Magdalene. Why not just admit your sins if you're a Christian? It's kind of the point. Because, Aiden, I have an answer to that. It's because people who are shady like that are hiding their past, it's not even that they're hiding it. It's like, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. But then when someone brings it up and they're having this outlash, right? And then they're trying to deplatform people like Jack Murphy did, like Eliza Bleu did, right? When they do that, the reason they don't just admit that that's part of their past and it's not who they are anymore is because they're scared. And it's not just because they're scared, like, oh my God, they're going to think of me different. That's not what it is. It's that they're scared that something else they're hiding is going to be found out that wouldn't be so pleasant. People like that can't be honest, and people who are dishonest tend to do bad things and have a lot to hide. So that would be the answer. Actual good people would just say that's not who they are anymore. They're in a bad place. But when you have something to hide, of course you're going to lash out and try to shut people down. You don't want people digging further. So if you guys think that this is where it ends, like I tend to think there's more to it. Like, what else is she lying about? What else is she hiding? Is it possible that she wasn't trafficked at all? It could be. It could be. I think they aren't remorseful. Well, doesn't seem like it to me. Tony Thigh, or Ty, $5 super chat. Your hair is on point tonight. Thank you. I haven't had it half up in a while, so I decided to switch it up from the regular ponytail. But it doesn't, like, half ponies don't work with every outfit, because, like, sometimes it could look a little bit too fancy. But I was like, whatever. I want to wear my hair this way, even if it's not perfect. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, $1 super chat. Thank you. Was that just a test to see if I can pronounce that? Yes, I can pronounce that, but I can't pronounce hyaluronic. I kind of just did it. Acid. I did that on Carmela's stream today. Chrissy's new video, did you watch it? Yeah, I did. So, Cucy had a call-in show called Wet Spot, and on Compound Media, and a caller called in, and it turned out to be Eliza Bleu's alleged boyfriend. And according to Frankie, Cucy was drunk, so she couldn't really like get information on. The guy was kind of blanking, so there really wasn't that much. He was just saying that he dated her and her sister, and it was for like a year and change. So that was pretty much what happened in that video. I hope he calls back and maybe gives insight on if he has heard about this whole trafficking thing. I'm just saying, like, you guys know I've covered this. Of course, I would be more inclined to be like, because I'm more knowledgeable about it, I'm like, oh, I'll hear you out. But in the instance of Eliza, where she's lied about so much, it's hard to believe her on anything anymore. And she's made it a lot harder for victims too. And they're not going to get believed either. And including the victims that she's personally helped. She has personally helped and advocated for people. Now their cases are getting hurt because of it. She's really being selfish. She didn't just think about herself. I mean, she did just think about herself and didn't think about other people. He confirmed she was 41. Yeah, that too. There was a lot of things pointing to that. I need to put chapstick on. There we go. Oh, and then there was people saying, by the way, I got an email, and there's people pointing out to me before this too, before the stream yesterday. I've been thinking about it. They were saying that it was a common thing back in the day to post videos, not this one, but the initial rap music video that we all saw, that I played earlier, where she's like, you know, dancing around the desert, shaking her ass. Apparently, there was a whole culture of like escorts doing videos like that, and it's strange how in the video, let's pull it up really quick. Okay, let me put it this way. Let's see if anyone else notices it too. Okay, what do you notice? What do you notice about this video? Okay, like going through it, you don't really have to watch it, but just scrolling through all these snapshots, right, of her. Right, what do you notice? Listen to music for a second.
Up. Girlfriend telling you she wanna see. I say I don't know.
Okay. What are you noticing? What are you noticing? So there's a male rapper rapping, right? But they're not really the focal point. They're not really mentioned. It says it's posted by WorldStar. It says who filmed it. And I guess Wish Eye Candy is the company. Isn't that kind of odd? Q-Tip. Q-Tip Master IC. I don't know, it's kind of weird. This is an odd music video. There's something off about it though, right? Like, if this were a normal rap music video, there would be like a guy in the video. Their name would like be more clear in the title. It's just oddly vague. And so someone pointed out, like, this used to be an escorting thing, that girls would make these videos to escort. Now, I don't know this for a fact. I don't. But it is strange. Now that I'm looking at it, it's a little strange. It is. And I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that. If you guys knew about this whole escorting subculture online in that time period. Because that's like a more niche thing that I don't personally know about. But here, I'll explain to you guys how someone explained to me. They said, there used to be a couple ways to tell. One, when you enhance the video, it would reveal a little watermark in the bottom corner, usually the left side, if that's what they use. There would be an auto-reply email message that sends you a code that you would text, or either the phone number, or some other contact info listed as something else, i.e. Management Co. Fan Club. They used to be all over WSHH back in the day. It was used by rappers, athletes, and other high-profile people. They were expensive, no doubt. So, yeah, that is a little bit strange. Where's the other artists in the video? It's just her. There's a guy rapping over it. And it's a very expensive production, right? These are high quality cameras. Oh, sorry, wrong video. They're very high quality cameras. All of it. The entire thing.
Was this some hard?
Like, very clearly high production value. There's some sort of investment here. It's a good camera. There's costuming. It genuinely looks like a rap music video. So, you know, that is a little bit odd. Why so much money would be spent on it, on the editing, on shooting it, on the costuming, just for like Eliza. Back then, and at that video, guys, when we first started, it only had 37,000 views. It's not on world hip hop. It had 500,000, sure, but usually they don't have that high of a budget in this range. She wasn't like that known. Rather niche. So I don't know. Can anyone, like, has anyone heard of anything about this production, or like how does that work? Like, it is weird. I will say that. It looks more of like she's just showing herself off in the video. You know, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. Because, like, what else is it for? What else is this used for? Because the male artist is not really being credited, right? It's just music playing over
Sweeter
it.
than Ben and Jerry.
But where's the other artist then? Right? So it seems like a video showcasing her. That's really what it seems like. So when they say that this could be an escorting video that people are theorizing at, I can see why. Because there's a lot of odd things about it. It's not an artsy thing either. So I do have my questions on that. So if I put my tinfoil hat on, maybe that's why she didn't want it getting out. Maybe there's something she didn't want people to know. I don't know, but it is weird. Like, what is she promoting there other than herself? It's not an art. It's not really a craft. It's just promoting, like, it's promoting her body. It's showing off her body. That's what's kind of being sold here now. So yeah, I'm inclined to believe that there is some reason why she didn't just say, oh, hey, I did this, as opposed to deplatforming people over it. Ghost Crusaders 1999. So
All right,
if
let's talk Instagram for a little bit.
Oh, sorry. So if people post videos you made 10 years ago, but you resent it now, you must claim it's non-consensual. So all the OnlyFans girls, when they're older, are going to get a bunch of simps banned if they promote them. Nice. That is going to happen, for sure. For sure. You think Eliza's the only one with this mindset? No, look at the people defending her. Right? They had similar situations. So, yeah, guys. Yeah, actually, there are going to be a lot of men who are going to have their reputations affected by these women who are claiming that it's non-consensual. And it's really unfortunate for actual victims who do get coerced and drugged into doing things like this. It really is unfortunate. And it starts here. Jeremy, the quartering, got his account locked by her. Isn't that a case of that? Isn't that a case of a female doing a false accusation against a man? So, thank you for the $5. I am what I am. Have you read Eliza's fan fiction with her after her breakup with Gerald Way when she went by the name Eliza Cuts? I heard a little bit on Anna's stream. It was very cringe-inducing, of course, but it was funny. I sent you a link to an interview she did on Tumblr years ago. I haven't read it, but people on Twitter seem like it's pretty damning. Oh, okay. Let me take a look at this. What is that? Crazy XC interview with Eliza Siep. Okay, so they're interviewing Eliza, and she was in My Chemical Romance in their prime, like rolling around with them. Eliza was the first rock and roll girlfriend of a lot of women their age. Followed on the internet in 2007. There was messaging boards and a lot of rumors on them about her. She was the girlfriend fans of the band Love to Be Hated. I followed the message boards like a hawk in my teens and read everything I could about her. The fandom was very unfair to Eliza, but she broke ground as one of the first rock and roll girlfriends with a large internet following. When she and Gerald split, it got even worse with rumors if Eliza alleged crazy antics. In summary, Eliza was publicly cyberbullied by teenagers for roughly 2 years. Luckily for all of us, Eliza and Gerard, sorry, fuck up his name. Gerard ended their romance. She became an amazing woman, model / badass. She now appears in music videos and is a spokeswoman of many different products. Luckily for me, she was kind enough to talk to me about her time. So this is them together. So this is in 2017 from Eliza. What stands out most in your memory when you think back to your time with the band after the breakup? Man, that seems so long ago because it was. I think getting to see artist talent get recognized at a higher level for their talent was my best memory. Okay, let's see what else here. After the breakup, I was off the internet for a long time and went off the grid. No TV, no internet, no radio. What year is that? Still trying to figure out this timeline here. Do you consider yourself a crazy ex or feel that the title was put on you unfairly? I would look at the source that was calling me crazy. Do they actually know the situation or are they assuming from the outside? I'm extremely passionate but not in a harmful way. I think believing anything that you read on the internet is crazy. I'm sure that it's interesting but not accurate. Okay, this is about her negativity in the fandom. Let's see. It's funny to think about this years later. Once again, that time frame was unique to pop culture because that was the true start of the social media craze. When it's your actual life, you don't see it as negative stuff, but I knew it was there, but it wasn't important to me to troll false or negative things about my life. Oh, how things have changed. If apparently she can't even handle a screenshot now. If I did see it by accident, it would hurt my feelings. That's still true. I was a very normal, average person, so I couldn't understand what the hate was all about. People tend to follow rather than lead. I feel like that was the perfect storm for bullying, and sadly, I was the target. I was just a regular girl trying to deal with abnormal situations to the best of my abilities. Man, is there ever a point in her life where she isn't the victim? You know, when you're a victim over and over, you have to start asking yourself, how did this happen so many times? Like, that's the truth of it. That's what I had to, guys, I've been in abusive relationships, physically abusive relationships, where I was the person getting physically abused. And, you know, at a certain point, I had to stop and ask myself, what is getting me into these situations? What is attracting these people to me? Why do I allow them in my life? You have to ask yourself that. What are you doing that is putting you in that situation, that's making people be in your life that are like that? And she should ask herself that, and perhaps stop yelling about how she has trust issues to everyone. Maybe people would stop being predators around you, preying on your known weakness when you stop announcing it over and over. And stop victimizing yourself over and over. It's just nonstop with this woman. And let me tell you something, I'm not going to be Eliza's victim. What's the craziest rumor you ever heard about yourself? The craziest of all time, that I was the one pressing charges on Derrick Rose, and basketball player, for R word. That's a very serious subject in general, not the type of thing you want to get involved with. Yeah, so she knows how serious it is to make an accusation of accusing someone of posting a non-consensual image. Seems like she has a good grasp of that here. I wonder what happened to that. Let's see. Apparently she had pregnancy rumors, and the guy asked, I feel lots of kids on the internet didn't understand your sense of humor. Can you talk about the photo shoot you did that addressed the various rumors about you? How did you feel about the pregnancy rumors? Thank you. I don't try to be funny. I don't try to expect people to understand me. I just have always done my own thing. I'm into what I'm into for seasons of my life. Sometimes the general public likes my wave, most of the time they don't. It's always makes me happy at the time. The photo shoot was really me playing around with my friend. We shot a lot back then. We had a lot of fun together. The pregnancy rumors were funny. My weight fluctuates a lot, maybe 50 pounds up and down. I thought people thought I was pregnant because of my weight. I never wanted my own children, so I definitely am not getting pregnant. Let's see. Because people were talking about, there was rumors about that. Do you ever talk to Gerard after the breakup? What about any other members of the world's most hated crew? No comment. Lolt's second question. Yes, there are some great people in my past I still connect with. We don't talk about the past. It's ancient history. Everyone grew up and moved on. What would you have done differently? Not a single thing. Even the worst parts you learn from and grow from it. Hope she still feels that way. Everyone goes through hard things, and you can let it break you or build you. Wow, heroic. I'm sorry. It's just that maybe it was the case here, but like now it just aged like sour milk. The chat's just typing 50 pounds. Yeah, you know, guys, I have to say, like, she's a tall woman on her thing. I think she said she's 5'9". I'm 5'7". I'm also a tall woman, and I'm also curvy like her. She actually has very similar measurements to me. It's only off by like 1 or 2 inches. Where's her thingy? What did it say? So I have a good frame of reference because we're similar here. So, so for me, it's a 1 inch difference here, 1 inch difference here, and a 2 inch difference here. I'm like at a 41, a 26, like at my current weight, and then a 35, and I'm 5'7", and I'm at like 137 pounds. And my weight will fluctuate by like maybe like 3 pounds. In the past 2 years, it fluctuated between like a 10-pound range at most. Generally speaking, at any point you've seen me, I was between like 127 and 140. I don't know how she fluctuated 50 pounds. That is a lot. I agree with you guys. It is a lot. And to think like, you know, we even have similar proportions. So to fluctuate by 50 pounds, yeah, that's a lot. Let's see. Are there any current projects we should check out for you? I am trying to keep my life as simple as possible. My greatest project is being the best aunt for my nephew possible. And that didn't go so good. Everything else is just a time filler. But yeah, generally speaking, I fluctuate maybe like 5 pounds at max nowadays. Like, I would have to actively be trying to either, like, I don't know, like, how I would, maybe with age, I could exit that range. Maybe it's because she's older than me. Maybe I'm not being considerate of that. I don't know. But, like, even when I'm being, like, a little more generous with what I eat, it's still within that 5-pound range. But yeah, that was the interview we went through. What do you guys think? Trent Ronzer, $2 Canadian. Nasty burn cellulite. Also missed my last super chat. Okay, I'll scroll down in a second. TSC Way, thank you for the $15 through my website. I always appreciate when you guys do it through my website. The Eliza Jack Murphy shoops haunt me. Yeah, they give everyone PTSD, huh? Trent Razor, $2 super chat, Canadian. Martina admitted she never wears deodorant, by the way. The only people I know of that don't have a smell under their armpits are Asians, because they genetically don't have the thing that gives BO there, most of them. So they don't sell deodorant in Japan, usually. And Martina is not Asian, to my knowledge. So... Tony Ty, $2. When are you going on Timcast? I don't know. Ask Tim Pool. But as far as the second booking, the pop culture one, if you're asking about that, the one that's under Tim Pool, again, she has at Timcast email. That one is in early February, if it doesn't get canceled, that is, assuming that. Little Sausage, and I say that because of the Cassandra thing and her having a bone to pick, even though it's like, clearly in any other situation you wouldn't be blaming the person who got deplatformed, especially when it's so black and white how unfair it was. Little Sausage, 10 Canadian dollars. My ex from high school, 06, still friends, was escort in this time period. It was all about Backpage back then. They didn't need vague YouTube ads. Ask Leanne, maybe. Maybe Leanne would know about that, actually. You know what's so funny? Leanne Starr has OnlyFans, okay, but she's one of the few OnlyFans girls that tells it how it is. She's like, you shouldn't do it. I just do it because I'm okay with my nude body being out there, but she's like, I don't go outside. I don't do things to men. I don't remember last time I had a crush. And let me tell you, OnlyFans is not for everyone. You probably shouldn't do it. She's just like straight up about it. And she herself, what I like about Leanne is that she actually has helped other people. She says how I know she has legitimacy is because she actually describes how she helped people. She's like, I went on this website and I see these girls and I help the victims. Like, this is how I find the trafficking victims. Eliza doesn't really go into detail that way. So that was very interesting to me. It's like what you could be if you were actually honest versus if you're a liar, right? Deranged Lunatic, $2. I used to work on some Cambodians. They definitely had BO bad. Well, in Japan, they apparently don't. And in Korea. I don't know about the other Asians. Okay, so there's this video I wanted to watch that we didn't get to yesterday that helps prove some of my points in terms of how she ran her business and her getting paid. Obviously, we already played some clips that showed, like, it wasn't non-consensual. It doesn't appear non-consensual. She seems pretty proud of it. But I wanted to play some of this video.
Yeah. When it comes to Instagram, as far as your posts, what gets the biggest response for you?
Definitely selfies that look like I took them, like body selfies that look like I took them myself, like mirror selfies, you know, my phone, like taken like that. Definitely things with my body and definitely things that look like I take them myself. Unfortunately, things that look professional get the least amount of love, which is so sad because I'll spend like months preparing for a photo shoot, like a collaborative, elaborate, intense photo shoot, and it just won't connect.
I might play this on 1.5 speed.
I don't know if it's that people are wise to Photoshop or anything like that, but yeah, it makes me bummed out kind of because I put so much work and effort into my actual photo shoots. So what I actually did as a result of that was start to cut out the middleman. So I stopped shooting with photographers as much, and I definitely don't use any type of like editors or anything like that. Mainly 99.9% of my photographs now are self-inflicted or self-taken.
So she's explaining partially how she runs her business here, right? Off of her body. The focus is her body. That's how she's making money off of. That's how she's promoting herself. Pretty clear, right?
Yeah, so I do almost
pretty, and yeah, Lila, I do agree. This is all very bizarre for a trafficking victim. I will say some trafficking victims, they will feel, as Carmela pointed out today, they will feel a need to try to reclaim their bodies, and some of them do resort to prostitution in its various flavors. That actually is a thing. But we don't know what the case is here because it's all very strange and things don't add up. And she clearly isn't above lying, so.
All my promotional stuff by myself now. I just find that it's the best way to connect with people. They like the real look, which is cool. I mean, I vibe with it too, whatever you guys like, but you know, it's just hard when I spend a lot of time on photo shoots and people don't connect with it. Sad.
Do you have an Instagram strategy?
I do.
Joey Jojo $5 super chat. She looks like the singer Pink, but less talented, making it harder for real trafficking victims to speak out. And that really is ironic for a human trafficking advocate, isn't it? In my opinion, she reminds me more of Amber Rose. You know that woman who used to be with Kanye? The short hair. It's like in between Pink and Amber Rose. Zach Hayes, $2 super chat. She changed her accent, voice like Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah, she does have that Weiger accent going on, doesn't she? I can say that because I am a Weiger. I am quite literally a Weiger.
Very much so, yeah. I mean, it's breaking down to all hours.
My mom and dad made me, and I am a Weiger. I like how someone spelled it in chat. Uighur. A Weiger accent. That's funny. I am what I am, $5 super chat. If you look at the timeline of when she went by Morthland Cuts Syed, it doesn't look like she was trafficked at all. Okay, let's keep watching. There's all good stuff in here.
Post, how it's going to look on the post, what I'm posting, how it's going to play out. Yeah, I mean, I always try to look at it from the outside perspective. Like if I was somebody looking at my Instagram, because you never know who's watching, you know what I mean? I just recently found out that a brand that I idolized had been watching me for a month. And now we're rocking together, but it's like, dang, you never know who's watching, you never know who's looking. So I definitely have an Instagram strategy. I hate that it's like that because I feel like it's supposed to be social media, like my friends are supposed to check up on me. No, it's all work, unfortunately. So.
Now, speaking of Instagram, how crazy are your DMs?
What context?
I mean, people hollering at you. What do you see? When we're talking like percentage of males and females, what's coming at you?
Just suck his dick. Like, damn, just say you want his dick.
A couple females like do shout out for a shout out, like, hey girl, what's up?
No. I'm talking about hollering at you through the DM. If you could put a percentage on males and females.
Oh my god, you're so funny. She's like throwing her head back, like, I want this dick so bad.
I can't. A lot of males holler at me through the DM.
So like 75, 80%, 20% female holler at you, or what?
No females holler at me in the DM. No females, like, females try to talk to me about business stuff, like, okay, can we do a shout out for a shout out? Can you promote my brand? Blah, 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 blah. Men, some business, some guys really just trying to be nice, like, hey, I just want to tell you you're beautiful. And then other guys is really just trying to shoot their shot, and I respect that, so.
Now, what about as far as celebrities? Celebrities holler at you. Now, we don't have to.
I'm gonna have to turn this video down. I don't know if I can deal with her over the top giggling because she's horny laugh. Like, this is what women do. It's true. I'm sorry, but like all the ladies watching, I'm gonna expose us. We're all guilty of this. Ladies, we're all guilty of this. We are. We just didn't have it on video under why we refused booking requests for $150,000. Also, why is it called a booking request? Is that implying she's an escort? Like, does this go with the theory earlier? That's a very odd title. I just noticed that. Very odd. But anyway, ladies, we're guilty of this. We do the whole giggle fit thing when we want someone's dick. It's true. It's true. It doesn't mean it's every time. Some guys can genuinely just be really funny. But, like, if he's literally breathing and they're going, like, they want their dick. Like, that's how women work. It's just nonstop. So I'm going to have to turn it down.
We don't have to name names.
I would never.
Okay, we don't have to name names. But on the type of people that hit you, what would you say percentage-wise is in there? Okay, because I was going to say athletes, musicians, and then other celebrities.
Athletes, 98%. Rappers, 2%.
And then of the 98% of athletes, what would you say is football or basketball?
Oh my God. Predominantly basketball.
Predominantly basketball?
Predominantly basketball. You know what's crazy is I sat down one night and I figured out exactly how many people play professional football in the United States.
Take a shot every time she laughs.
And then if you add in overseas.
At something that he says.
Way more football players than basketball.
That literally isn't a joke.
But you get more basketball players hollering at you than football players?
Yeah.
Now, has there been anybody that has...
I would be dead by now. If I were taking a shot every time, I would literally be in the hospital.
But at you that surprised or shocked you? Maybe you were...
Is she on drugs here or something?
Celebrity...
You know, I mean, man. I have met a lot of people that I've been a fan of their work, but as far as like in the DM, nah. I mean, yeah, I respect them as athletes and as professionals, but as far as artists, no, unfortunately. They don't hit me in the DM, but what I have found is that I do inevitably meet all the people that I look up to as artists, because like I said, I'm very conceptual. I'm very
You
much.
did speed her up, to be fair. I only put it on 1.5. And this is only over the course of 5 minutes. It's still a lot.
Visionary, so.
Aiden, imagine if you had to listen to this in 1 time speed. Is that what you want? You want to hear her hyena laugh for some guy's dick at 1 time speed? You want to suffer longer?
It's challenging for me because they see me more as a sexual being or as a woman and less as a visionary and as a creative. So.
Oh, I wonder why. I couldn't figure that one out. Huh, they only view her as a sexual object? Gee. Could anyone tell me why that might be? Perhaps this video might give us a clue? Huh. This isn't art? What? What do you mean they view you as a sexual object? Call me shocked. Gee, I wonder why men are offering $150,000 to fuck them. And again, it's so weird that they put it as booking request. A booking request. How did they contact her to make a booking request? What? Why? Why is that in the title? I'm sorry, but it feels like I'm missing a piece of information here. Because if I were titling this, guys, as a YouTuber, I would have maybe put it a little differently. I wouldn't say a booking request. That would imply I do take bookings for that, which we'll see later in the video what she says about that, why she rejected it and everything. But I would have put, like, someone offered me $150,000 to sleep with them or something. I wouldn't have put a booking request. Odd. Maybe it's because, like, she's a model and she'd use that as booking. I don't know. These type of things, they really do become blurred when you start calling things that are sex work, modeling, and such. It's kind of like when you say escorting. It's not prostitution. It's escort. It does have that taste to it. It does have that vibe.
It's challenging. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a DM slide because it's like they see me, but they don't see me. So it's very challenging.
Now,
Wow. If only that could be fixed somehow. By you not prancing around in lingerie and squatting into the camera. If only that was possible. Gee, I wonder why. You know, this lack of self-awareness persists in Eliza. It's still there. She has not changed that aspect about her personality. It's still very much present, isn't it? That hasn't changed. Some things never change. Some things never change. But as we're hearing in this segment, if you guys were paying attention, she's talking about her getting DMs from athletes and things like that. That also makes the title kind of weird. Yeah, do men always slide in women's DMs general? Yeah, they do. Speaking from experience, of course, every woman deals with this if you're online and you're not a fucking ugly pig. But she's talking about how high-end these men are, right? She's kind of like humble bragging, like, oh, I have athletes and these, like, let's call them high value, even though they're probably not. They probably, like, hoe it up and everything. I wouldn't consider them high value just on the premise of them being an athlete. But it does give them some sort of status to be an athlete, right? That's why she's using it to brag, because she knows that. And she's like, yeah, look at all these rich men in my DMs. Look how I'm getting $150,000 booking requests to fuck men. It's just very strange. I don't hear other artists talking about this so extensively and bragging about it. It's very strange. And it's very strange behavior from a trafficking victim.
It's challenging. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a DM slide because it's like they see me, but they don't see me. So it's very challenging.
Now, what about disrespect?
In the DM?
Have you been disrespected?
I don't know what's up with her black scent.
In maybe your DMs or comments?
She's in a lot of rap
Every
music
day, every day.
videos.
But when you put up things that provoke a feeling and emotion,
And yes, I heard about
you have
the
to
live
expect
sex.
that some people will interpret them differently than others. You know, that's how art is. You know, you take an artist like Chief Keef, for instance, in Chicago. We're going to use him as an example because it's very Chicago-centric. But I look at him as a poet, as an artist, as somebody like Tupac that speaks the truth, as the Chicago streets, or Dirk, or anybody like that, King Louis,
The
anybody
Chicago
like that. You know,
streets. She's
I'm a
real.
woman that's
She's
Chicago-based,
hard.
that's speaking
Don't
from
fuck with
the
her. She's a
streets
boss
in my
babe.
essence. And that's my
Boss.
poetry, and that's my vibe, and how
That's
somebody
her
wants to
vibe.
interpret that is not my problem. it's my duty as an artist to give my vision and expose my vision to people, and then let them interpret it how they want to. If they feel disrespectful towards that, that's fine. I really don't even look at the DM. I got an assistant that looks at the DM, so we're cool on that. But I mean, if they feel disrespectful, you know, I do go through seasons where people are more disrespectful than others. It depends on who I'm dating or what pops off in pop culture and blah 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 blah. But other than that, people are pretty cool.
How do you deal with
You know what's interesting about that statement? Nobody would catch on to that if they hadn't watched her previous interview video. Do we recall in her previous interview video how she says she only had one serious boyfriend? So here she's talking about she's dating. So what exactly does that mean to her? Like, she's dating? Is she dating these athletes and like people with a lot of money? That also seems kind of weird, especially with this title. I don't know. A lot of it does seem weird. I don't know.
comments, like hateful comments?
They get deleted. My girl deletes them.
What about blocking? Do you block anybody?
If it's negative, vulgar, of course. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, that doesn't belong on my page. My page is about positivity. My pages, wherever they live, are about positivity. Vibes are good.
Positivity and vibes? Hold on.
Good.
I gotta hear
my page
that
is about
again.
positivity. My pages, wherever they live, are about positivity. Vibes are good. I always
Why
sort
do
of
they
try
always
to play the
talk
movie
like
forward
that?
and try to anticipate that children could potentially be looking at my.
Why do they always talk like that or speak like that? Oh, good vibes, positive vibes. It's always the people, the most fucked up people that say that shit. Positive vibes only. It's always a fucking projection with those people who are like, positive vibes, positive vibes. It's the same thing with her talking about, oh, I'm big on trust, I'm big on trust. It's literally yelling, I have trust issues. Take advantage of me by manipulating me into think I can trust you. I'm putting a target on my head. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Maybe you're the one without the good vibes. It's because they don't have any good
I always
vibes.
sort of try to play the movie forward and try to anticipate that children.
I'm sorry,
could
I don't
potentially
get
be
good
looking at
vibes
my
from her.
page,
I
so
actually don't.
I try to keep it PG enough that if I felt like a child was looking at my page, it would be right on the edge. So
It would be right on the edge. You know, she's just going into detail about what she does. She wants to be risque. She wants to be right on the edge. She's open about it, interviewing about it. But God forbid I talk about it. God forbid I ask questions. Thank you, Defango, for becoming a simple simp. And thank you for joining Simcast last night. He's the guy, those of you who don't know or recognize his name, he's the guy who made the thread that ultimately led to this whole thing happening. He made the thread on Eliza with all the timelines not adding up and providing all the receipts. And he said that he will remake the thread and add some positive aspects about her as well to be more fair. So that's who that is.
Are you on Snapchat?
yes,
How's your Snapchat?
cracking. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, my Snapchat's boring, but it is cracking on the low. But this is why I think it's cracking, because when people look at my Instagram, they get to like model me, you know? They're like super posed, composed.
Model.
They don't even know what my voice sounds like. They don't know who I am. They get no vibe off me. I think, well, they might interpret their own vibe, but I don't know. Like, and I just find out Snapchat, man, it took me forever to get what Snapchat was about.
Hold on, guys. I gotta take a modeling break. I'm gonna post that one on my Instagram later. My modeling photo.
Like, it took me forever. I kept asking my girl, what is the point in Snapchat? Like, you can't make money off it. What's the point? I don't get it, because I'm an Instagrammer. Like, for real. I mean, if you had to classify me, I'm an Instagrammer. So it's like, when I look at Snapchat, I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? The point is there's no point. You got to be yourself, be real, be authentic. Oh, man, that was so hard for me. I didn't want people to see who I really was, because I'm kind of like a geek. I'm like a nerd.
Okay. Okay. It writes itself. Guys, I'm such a nerd. People don't get me. Okay. Listen, I know, like, it's not even like, she's not even cosplaying or something. She's just like, guys, I'm such a nerd. It really is like a whole archetype. Self-report, I don't know how to be authentic. Aiden, what do you make of this? Like, are you seeing like some low conscious behavior overall from Eliza? I'm getting very much low conscious, low empathy behavior. And I think that also means that it has to be treated differently as a situation, because sometimes people do make mistakes and they have to be forgiven. But I really think we have a problem in our society where there's a lack of awareness about the fact that there are some people who don't have humility. They're very low empathy, and they cannot be treated the same and given the same kindness and benefit of the doubt, because they will utilize it for the worse and make the world a worse place, and they won't actually change because they don't actually have that part within themselves like how everyone else does. They actually aren't really capable of like higher levels of empathy. They will do things that harm other people for their own benefit. They get ahead. That's why you have a lot of like sociopaths or other low conscious behaviors in people who climb up. Carmela and I were talking about this earlier, but like that's the kind of vibe I get from him, because like who else would just so cold-heartedly shut down people's accounts for asking a question, like me and quartering? And in the case of her, she's saying she's gonna die on the hill of free speech and freedom of press, right? And then she literally locks out and deplatforms someone who covers the news every day. Like, that doesn't sound like a normal person to me. Ren Wesley, $5 to chat. Hey, Britt, don't let his drama disrupt your sleep schedule. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. I did. It's just my time of the month, so I sleep extra. I get really fatigued. $2 super chat from Russell Hall. The word she's looking for is poser. Yeah, it's always people that like, I hate posers. I'm not a poser. And then, like, lo and behold. Aiden said, there are legitimately people who do not experience empathy while being sub-pathological. I would say from her behavior, yes, she may fall into that category. Yeah, like, I obviously can't diagnose her, right? But I see some symptoms. I see some repeating behaviors. There's a pattern here. And people, especially kind people who are empathetic, who are ignorant to, and I mean that in the most objective sense of the word of ignorant, like they genuinely just don't know that some people don't function on a human level. They actually lack humanity, and you can't treat them the same in some cases. And I do see some of these behaviors from her, and like people who are kind will want to just treat everyone the same, but it's like, you can't do that. That's how you make the world a worse place, is by allowing shitty people to get away with things and allowing them to get ahead and being super forgiving when they're not going to appreciate it or become a better person. And I'm saying that might be the case for her, because I'm seeing a lot of low empathy moves on her end on how she acts. There's no remorse. And it's very strange. It strikes me as very odd. When I was on the podcast with her with Cucy Mayer, it struck me as very odd that an anti-trafficking advocate wouldn't really acknowledge what I was saying about porn being fueled by a lot of trafficking. It was very odd to me, because one of the first things you find out when you research porn, when you research trafficking and prostitution, you find out it's all interlinked. It's one of the first things. You have to research all the topics, or you're not going to actually have a good understanding of the topic. CV999 super chat. Good to meet you, Brittany. Sorry it has to be this way, but it's so much fun taking down social climbing political grifters. Hashtag much love. Thank you, CV. And then earlier, CV said, 499 super chat. Hello, Defango. You have a fan, Defango.
I watch documentaries a lot. You know what I mean? So it was like really challenging, because I wanted people to see like the fire me, but I didn't want people to see the real me. So Snapchat, I'm still easing into as far as letting people into my real life. I feel like it's challenging for me to let people into my real life. I feel like they don't deserve to know my real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they don't deserve to know the real me. That's it.
How are your DMs on Snapchat?
Oh my.
Great pause right in the middle of the laugh. Cucy, we've been watching her laugh for 10 minutes, and I'm feeling the urge to drink once again, just like on Semcast. I think Cucy said, I think she's used to being the only guest on the pod and being the authority. Yeah, it comes up, it's very domineering. And that's me saying that. That's people say that I'm like that. And if I'm saying that, what does that say? Also, guys, if you're not sub to Cucy, why aren't you sub to her? We do Simcast every Sunday. Duh, go sub to her. She's also given great coverage of this whole thing. I was watching a little bit of Simcast after I left today. I was watching back, and you guys had discovered that video, which I played on stream today, of her saying that she was happy that the World Star video was out there. You guys were doing some detective work.
So
It was good stuff. Everything is funny when you're Eliza. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I was wondering about that photo. Yeah, guys, I'm seeing a photo of Eliza next to that senator guy. Like, 2 photos. And people were saying she claimed it's not her dad, but, like, I'm looking at 2 photos right now with her in it and him in it, and they're like, I don't know. Pretty suspect, and they share the same last name. That's kind of odd. I didn't see her denying it, but I heard people saying that she said she denied it. Brittany, Cucy texted you and move your phone. Oh, God. Did I put it there again? Okay.
That's it.
How are your DMs on Snapchat?
Oh my God. I don't answer anyone that isn't that I don't know personally. They don't pop off. Like, it pops off, but it really doesn't pop off like that. You know, because I don't
It'll
answer
stop
people
buzzing.
back. You know, I have a service that I work through called ChatStar. So anybody that wants to contact me personally, like,
Hold on, before we get into that section. Is it still buzzing? Because every time I put my phone... Oh, maybe it's because my AirPod case is there, too. Okay, this area, I need to, like, put a barrier. So I stop putting electronics near it. Monkey had 15 $5 to chat interview. Do you like Instagram? Eliza. Ha 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 ha. I'm such a geek and nerd. Ha ha ha. That's exactly how it's happening. This would be a really good sketch. Like, I could see a funny cartoon reenacting this. If I did animation, I would do this. In fact, I mean, you could. It doesn't take that. If I just wanted to make like a stupid stick figure animation, I could totally do it. I am what I am. $5 super chat. Want to go down the rabbit hole more? Search Ish0 on YouTube. Ish0. What's that? Has anyone here heard of what that is? Do you have a wireless charger right there? No, just my glasses and some notes. There's nothing surrounding the box. The box is safe. So hopefully the buzzing stops. TSUA $10. Well, who is the audience for this mind-numbing interview? Her simps. Okay, let's listen to the part about chat stars. Very important.
they don't pop off. Like, it pops off, but it really doesn't pop off like that. You know, because I don't answer people back. I have a service that I work through called ChatStar. So anybody that wants to contact me personally, like a fan, or I hate the word fan. It's so ugly, but anybody that feels a need to contact me personally can text message me through a service called ChatStar, and I do get paid through that. They pay to text me, and so it would be sort of like stupid of me to text people on Snapchat or to send people personal snaps when I'm charging other people. So I really just try to keep it like my DMs for Instagram are business, hypothetically, and then my snaps for other people are null and void but anybody that I know, yeah, you can snap me.
Are they more vocal?
So she literally runs a business to charge, presumably men, to talk to her. Now, how is that different from a Discord? Well, Discord has a different functionality. If you really wanted to, could you be an OnlyFans girl and run a explicit Discord? Yeah, you could. But predominantly, that is not how Discord is used. It's used as kind of in between a messaging avenue and an image board. In a way, you can technically make it into an image board forum. I know this because I've seen a website do it that went offline. It was a girl gossiping website that shall remain unnamed. We have already little enough female spaces online as it is. Okay, well, this one actually though was funny. They like kicked me out of the Discord immediately. I spoke about it at the end of the Venus Angelic video, I believe it was. But yeah, Discord is different because it's more like, here's a community, they're interacting. At least in my Discord, I didn't run it in the way she's saying. With hers, it's more of like a one-on-one thing as opposed to speaking to a community, right? It's a private chat, right? There's a sense of intimacy. You're speaking one-on-one. It's not just like, hey, I'm a fan, or hey, do you need help with this type of thing? Yeah, that could happen between I've certainly people have DM'd me before and I've responded, obviously, but in this case, she's charging for it, right? And she's saying, you are paying to speak to me directly, one-on-one. No other parties can see this. It provides that intimacy, and she's charging them, and she's saying, you're going to pay for it. So how does that come across to you guys? Especially given the other things she's done, the way she describes them, and what we see of her, and her marketing is her body. That is essentially what her product was. It's not just like, oh, she has big boobs and it's like a side dish of what she's doing. No, her main focus, as we saw in the music video, it literally is to market her sexuality. That's the main focus. So when she's charging for one-on-one talks with presumably men, what does it sound like to you? It is curious about her change of vocalization. She doesn't sound anything like this in the MCR videos. Manipulative narcissists often adopt new identities like that, though. That's a great point, Aiden.
Vulgar on your Snapchat DMs than they are on your Instagram DMs?
I don't snap off on Snapchat. I don't show a lot of skin.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't show a lot of skin. That's not what I'm about.
Wait, Chatstar is a cam site? Hold up. Wait, what? I'm over here like, oh yeah, she's talking about its messaging and it's called Chatstar. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Literally porn star chat. Oh my god. Okay. I need to recollect myself for a second. Stop. I'm going on this website. Hold on. Chat Star. Watch Cam Soda's free live cams. What? No registration required to view our live sex webcams. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Literally, she webcammed. Okay, so this escorting theory really isn't that crazy after all. Never mind. What I said earlier about how I was tinfoiling, yeah, it was, yeah, I take it back. It was not tinfoiling. It was a little too close to the truth. Okay, so literally, that's why she's getting $150,000 offers to fuck people, because she literally was on a cam girl website. Okay, mystery solved. Glad we could solve that live on stream. These are good vibes, guys, aren't they? Good vibes.
About
but people still, when they say something to you,
this is literally Jack Murphy 2.0. I just had the realization, like, yes, on so many levels, like even down to the webcamming, holy shit. So when's that gonna come out? And then she's gonna be like, oh, that's non-consensual too, and she's gonna be like, fuck you, heartfelt. No fucking way. No way. You can't. It's like this would be like, if you told me this would happen, you're like, there's gonna be a female Jack Murphy and they're gonna do the exact same thing and it's gonna cause you to trend on Twitter. I don't know if I would have believed you. And that's saying a lot, because I believe in astrology. I believe in that bullshit. I don't know if I would have believed you. Trent Ronzer, $2 Canadian. Maybe she needs to wash her ass. Looks stinky. I'm sorry. Chameleon behavior, typical NPD, BPD. Yeah, I have to say something on that. Girls who do webcamming tend to not have the best backgrounds. They tend to come from pretty destructive households, pretty unhealthy households. They tend to have mental issues. So, yeah.
Again, that's not what I'm about.
But people still, when they say something to you on DM, are they worse on Snapchat versus Instagram, or are they the same?
I find that people send me inappropriate things more on Instagram, but that's what I see because I don't open the snaps.
I'm dead.
I have no place for that. I have no time for that.
Yeah, modeling on a cam girl site. It's modeling now. Okay.
That's not what I'm about.
Webcam model.
I just believe about positive vibes and just good vibes. I mean, I know as a woman, I have a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm very, by nature, you know what I mean? God made me very, very curvy. So For men, it's enticing to want to send things, but that's not what time it is. For me, when a guy wants to get a hold of me, I encourage them to just look at where I'm going to be, because I host night events, like nightlife events. Look where I'm going to be and come find me and say what's up. Like,
She literally marks, I'm sorry, but she literally checks off every single box that an escort would. Like, can you please provide me any box she doesn't check? Like, just one. Just one. Every single box. Like, I'm not saying she is, but like she apparently was a webcam girl. She said Chatstar. It's a sex webcam site. It's for online prostitutes. Why didn't she, if she wanted to do non-explicit content, why wouldn't she use another site? There was hundreds of them, especially in this era. There were so many of them. Like, it's, you know, things are starting to make sense. Strangely enough, things are starting to make sense. So, Aiden, to answer your question, why didn't she just admit what she did? I guess because she's scared of certain details coming out, like we just found out. I guess that would be the answer. Tony Ty, $2. Brittany, 100. Thank you. Patrick, 199 super chat. Have you seen the pimples on her butt? Guys, I don't want to look at the pimples on her ass. Mahandra fan, $5 Australian dollars. You're like a pit bull with this. Thank you, I think.
come see me. I'm very vibey, even though I'm single. I'm very, very vibey. Like, I don't meet guys
vibes.
online like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't meet guys online like that. So a little bit through Instagram, but I don't know. So it's like I'm very vibey. I'm very like,
yeah.
If your
we
vibe
solved
is good,
the
then I'll rock
mystery
with
for
you,
why
but
athletes
I
are
feel like I gotta meet you in
contacting
real
her.
life. Maybe that's old school in a way. Maybe that shows my age, but
We solved a lot of mysteries on this stream.
Now, what is your
This is why it's
outlook
good
on the
to
future
watch
of
the
social media
content
platforms?
live.
Obviously, Snapchat is hot right now. It's a hot social media platform, and you have other social media platforms like Periscope. You have Facebook Live, and then of course, when we're talking about social media platforms, you got the OG social media platforms like
What can I
Twitter
do
still
to be
around
more
and Facebook.
vibey?
Well, that's what you call OG? What about Friendster? What about Makeout Club, bruh? Do your homework.
Okay. And
Do
then,
MySpace, Makeout Club,
I'm
Friendster?
talking about for the general public.
All right.
And then, of course, Instagram is widely popular for more of the younger crowd, the younger generation. Do you see an app like Snapchat overtaking Instagram in the long run, or what do you see in your future crystal ball
Okay, it's like
social
this.
media platform?
It's like this. I do follow social trends. That's how I was able to make anything out of a social trend. And I'll tell you this: every social and artistic trend runs its own action.
Pimples and, I mean, not pimples, cellulite is definitely normal. What is it, like 92% of women have it? Yeah, it definitely is normal. But here's the thing. It's like, if you have it, you know that men are going to not understand that most women have it. A vast majority of women have it. And you know how a lot of them are going to react. And it's not going to be so nice. So I'm sure everyone going into it that has any sort of internet experience would know that, especially her when she's extensively, terminally online, has a huge paper trail of it. Cyberbully, what currency is that? What is that? What is that, like is that Peter file logo? What is that? What is the swirly thing? What currency is that? Is that Epstein dollars? Eliza hooked up with Matt from Tinder. That's the real plot twist.
So my next vision.
She
for
should
the
get with
future
Jack
is that
Murphy.
we
I know you just got
diminish all
married,
social
but it's,
media.
you know, it's
They
never
become
too
lame as
late.
hell. And we get back to real life, because at the end of the day, like, nothing that's going on in social media is really real life. Like, and I truly feel when the youth are watching us, because I look at myself as like the kind of like one of the pioneers. When the youth is watching us, they're gonna see that as lame. That's what the people before us did. Now it's old school. So now they want to set their own. They want to create their own path. They want to create their own destiny.
Oh, it's Israeli currency? Guys, why are you donating to me in Israeli currency? You know what everyone's going to say. Now they're going to call me a fucking shill and then be like, she's bought and paid for. She's controlled opposition. Look what you just did. Oh, wait. I just realized what I said. That the Epstein currency. And then everyone's like, did you know that's Jewish money? Redacted. I didn't mean what I said when I said joke. I genuinely didn't know what currency that was. I didn't know. Shut up. Shut up. Everyone play it cool. Be cool. Everyone be cool. CV9999 super chat. Y'all have a great night. Thanks a bunch for helping clean up our community. Yes, I'm a fan of Defango's mad genius, humble investigative skills. Y'all have a good show last night. Jimma will sleep better tonight, knowing that you young people exist. Oh, Grandma, keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we looked at Cassandra's tweets earlier, Belbro. Would you like some Romanian 50s?
Social media,
please, no,
it's like
stop.
reality TV. It's not real. So anything that lacks integrity and honesty is going to fall to the floor. And I'm probably going to leave the party before it's over, myself, because I don't like to be the last one lingering at a party like a lame.
She's cool.
I'm going to leave the
She's
party
a
before it's over, but
nerd,
I
okay.
fully see it all completely diminishing, and I could be completely wrong. I feel like there's one more level that it needs to go before it demolishes itself.
She's such a nerdy
But
model.
other than that,
who's
it's
so
a dead
cool.
issue. To me, it's dead. I'm just writing it till it's done. That's it. I mean, I feel like the only other step that it has to go is complete and utter full-time access to somebody's personality, and which is so beautiful because people get to choose who they want their own celebrities and models to be, and that's the wave that I rode. If I rode any wave, it was like, I'm gonna let the public choose to watch me, choose to follow me, and that's what's so dope about Instagram, Snapchat is like. You can pump all day the celebrities that you want, that you think we want to watch, but at the end of the day, we're gonna choose who we want to watch. If it's a dude that's like, damn Daniel, back at it with a back band, you know, I mean, that's who we want to see. We get to choose. That's a beauty. Back in my day, we didn't get to choose. It was like Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer. Now we get to choose who sells our products to us. Now we want to see Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner bad.
Thank you for the Canadian $10. She seems like a person borderline personality disorder to reinvent themselves, try to destroy all the evidence of their past. She also went for the quartering for inconvenient past pics.
I see Kylie Jenner sell her stuff to us. Sell it, bitch, sell it. You know, so that's the thing. It's like,
thank you,
we get to choose who sells us our
$2
things.
super chat.
That's dope. And now I feel like the next level is complete and utter total access. So damn near like a GoPro cam.
Wait, she dropped her accent. She said Claudia Schiffer, rewind. Okay, hold
on my forehead. The other thing is like, we get to choose who sells us our things. That's dope. And now I feel like the next level is complete and utter total access. So damn near sell her stuff to us. Sell it, bitch, sell it. You know, so that's the thing. It's like, we get to choose who sells us our.
Have to go back
now we get to choose who sells our products to us. Now we want to see Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner bad. We want to see Kylie Jenner sell her stuff to us. Sell it, bitch, sell it. You know, so that's the thing. It's like, we get to choose who sells us our things. That's dope. And now I feel like the next level is complete and utter
you should
total
work for
access.
Project Veritas.
So damn near like a GoPro cam on my forehead, watching
me 24/7.
And 1,000 people are gonna tune in every day. But those 1,000 people are like really Eliza knows. I hate to speak of myself in the third person, but Eliza knows fans or friends of me that really, really rock with me. And then everybody else, you know, there you go.
When it comes to social media overall in general, what's your biggest pet peeve with it?
After she says Naomi Campbell, hold on, we're at 1739, so that means it was over here.
Who we want to watch. If it's a dude that's like, damn Daniel, back at it with a back band, you know, I mean, that's who we want to see. We get to choose. That's a beauty. Back in my day, we didn't get to choose. It was like Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer.
Claudia Schiffer. It was Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer. Okay, we got it.
Overall, in general, what's your biggest pet peeve with it?
That upward eye smile, that means a lie was just spoke. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to like her eye direction.
What bothers you the most about it?
Was she looking to the top right?
I have no pet peeve with social media. I mean, to me, social media is like the Wild West. There's no pet peeve with it. It's wild. It's like punk rock. It's like you can't even rein it in, even if you wanted to. It's like
it's crazy how she has a better
my biggest pet
Ebonics
peeve is
accent
I don't like
than me.
Nudity. That's it. Because I know children are on there. That's why. I mean, I'm not above seeing the nude picture. Right? Like, oh God, you know, I'm not like
See,
super
I can't
above
tell
it,
because it's
like,
mirrored. I'm really
nudity,
like directionally
vulgarity,
retarded.
Racism, intolerance. That's it. It's like intolerance. Like.
1 second. There is a little bit more to finish the video. Her IMDb is great. Really? I kind of want to tab into that really quick. Tony Ty, $10 super chat. Brittany gang. Thank you. Let me see. What does she go by on there? Eliza what? What does she go by? Eliza like for that which personality is that one called? Nose? Okay, Nose. IMDb. I don't see it. Okay, let's try Eliza. See it. No, I don't see it. Okay, Eliza Cuts? I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe someone can link it to me. Okay.
Ignorance towards other people, but I don't know. I guess that my main thing with social media has always been like, okay, you want to say that about me, but come say it to my face. Nobody's ever in my whole
We'll look
life.
after the video.
Because people started saying about things about me on the internet about
She
2005.
say it to her
when I
face.
started to notice a change, and like nobody's
She
ever
gonna
come
fight
and say
you.
nothing to my face. And so that's my main
They
thing.
don't
is,
say
like,
nothing.
if you're bold enough to say it behind a computer or a cell phone, like just come say
Oh,
it
it's
to my
under
face.
Eliza Bleu? Okay, I'll look it up.
That's it.
Now, when it comes to booking requests,
Why does she have this reaction like she's literally orgasming when he says booking requests? This is all looking very suspect.
That's it.
now when it comes to
About the
booking
escort
requests,
theory.
I'm dead.
Go ahead.
What's been your strangest booking request so far?
Oh my God. $150,000 to have sex. I mean, it's a nice offer, but it's not me.
Turned it down.
I did, yeah. I did.
She turned it down because he was ugly. That's my conclusion. Based on my critical thinking of seeing everything she's said and done.
Was it hard for you to turn it down? Did
No,
you think about that for a
No, it
little
wasn't even a question, no. It's just not my thing, you know? I mean, no shade. It's just not my thing.
bit? Now, what about people?
$150,000, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I was like, whew, whew. It wasn't hard. It's just the thought of the money. It's just like, whew, whew. But it's just not me, you know?
Now,
Yeah, that's where she holds the moral high ground. But she's on a webcamming service. I mean, like, maybe, I don't know. Because, like, you know, you have, like, Leanne, right? She's, like, saying the only thing she does is, like, nudes and she doesn't do other stuff, right? So that can happen. But, like, we know she's a liar. And we know that she's a webcam model and that she gets DMs from athletes, and she's talking about over here in earlier in the interview how she's dating around. And in the other interview, she said she only had one serious boyfriend. I don't know. You guys do the math. What that means. Personally, I'm theorizing.
have you ever
it's
had
'cause the guy
issues
was
with
ugly.
people
Why she said no.
using your pictures?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, have you seen it maybe fake profiles? Have you seen maybe a back page profile with your picture?
I know that does happen a lot. You know, I'll be honest. I did have my only negative experience in that regard was I had an assistant who had all of my information, like all of my passwords and everything. I had hired somebody for the summer just because I hate to answer. It sounds so bougie, but like I hate answering comments. So I had somebody to help me navigate everything. I just don't like to be on my phone that much. You know, who likes to be on the phone that much? But you know, she and I had gotten into a tiff, and she turned it on me, and then tried to play out something that was a little bit very fabricated. That's my only negative experience in that way. And you know, it taught me I need to have people sign things, you know, legal things. But
Yeah, so she says that she works for herself. So this is pretty clear cut. That in this time period, all this stuff she did with the music videos and her booking and her modeling and her webcamming, modeling, she's working for herself. It doesn't sound like trafficking. It doesn't sound like she has a pimp that's coercing her into doing this. She's having laughing fits. This is a pretty clear-cut case. That what I posted was not of trafficking unless there's like a 0.01% chance of like she was like drugged or something. It just didn't look like that in the video. So using my critical thinking, I'm coming to the conclusion based on her talking about she's working for herself, she's a boss babe, men find her intimidating in the last interview because she's a model, and then I find out she's using a webcamming service for her fans. Yeah, it's not sounding like trafficking. Because she had been trafficked before, yeah, but also she's a liar, so. And she also claimed that what I posted was non-consensual, which would imply that she was trafficked there, so. And she said in the other video that she's happy it's out there.
you learn the hard way. So actually got me like 500 new followers, so I'm cool with that. Sounds so petty, but you know, I mean, I don't know. She just used my, I know it's just bad. It was bad.
And there you have it. All right, let's look up her IMDb. Eliza Bleu IMDb. There it is. Okay, what do we have here? Chrissy Mare podcasts on there. Okay. Chatting with Candace. Viva and Barnes Law podcast. Okay. You're welcome. And then the Eliza Bleu podcast. Okay. Yeah, it's just basically some of the. I don't. It's actually missing quite a lot. She could have put like the Dr. Drew one on here. She's on TV. Is it possible music videos are part of being trafficked as 30-year-old? Yes, it is. But then why didn't she not freak out about it till 6 years later? Yeah, that's what I've been saying too. It was up for 6 years, publicly available, and people tweeted her about it before, and she blocked them. So it's not like she didn't know about it. Man, this has been a ride. Really quickly, I want to pivot to the so I watched this video, but I haven't gotten a chance to really formulate a lot of thoughts about it. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Nicole Arbor, if you guys remember her, she made a video that got a lot of backlash called
about this.
She took it down. I think it was like about fat people. The blonde chick who was making fun of fat people, and people got mad. She was like one of the first people to get canceled, if you guys recall, and people just didn't like her. I guess she wasn't charismatic enough, and they didn't find her very funny. And so turns out she took a big break because she was dealing with some legalities of stalkers and had the police involved. And in this video, she talks about Candace Owens, and that actually relates to the Steven Crowder stuff. It also relates to me talking about Candace Owens in regard to Andrew Tate and her saying it was the girl's fault, even though Andrew had admitted to using these trafficking tactics that we've gone over 100 times, whether it be alcohol, flying them into a foreign country, giving them alcohol, get them on camera, getting a woman to convince them to do it, which many traffickers do. And also him using the lover boy tactic. It's literally a method of trafficking that is recognized by anti-trafficking websites. Almost every single one will talk about the different methods of trafficking and mention that because it's a very popular method. I don't know if popular is the right word. A commonly used method to traffic people and children. So anyway, Nicole Arbor, haven't heard a lot about her in a while. She made a video about Candace Owens, and I did find it interesting considering Candace did do something very scummy with saying, oh, it was the girl's fault. Like, okay, so here's the thing, guys. If everyone wants to be like, oh, well, you don't know the victims, blah, blah, right? Okay, but then you also can't say a definite phrase for the other way around either. You can't say, oh, for sure, the girls, it's their fault. You couldn't say that definitively either then, could you? So Candace went on to say that on her podcast, which we went over last stream. So I thought it was interesting that the things she said about Candace that were, low empathy behaviors. And she provides receipts. So I think that we should watch some of it. It's a 37-minute video, but there are some highlights I think we should watch.
The footage of me on that show.
Okay, let's go back for some context.
Friend. And
start maybe
this is
here.
when I was hiding, when I had to have welcome to the Arbor effect. And this is the truth about Candace Owens. For those of you who don't know, I started posting about it about a week and a half ago on my Instagram and TikTok, that for the last 9 years, I've been a victim of stalking, harassment, and worse, by a group of men. They've stalked me, they've harassed me, they've engaged in financial abuse. I've had to move so many times I lost count. I've had to change my phone numbers. I've had to cancel shows. I've had to do so many things. And I think the hardest thing I've had to do was stay quiet, especially if you guys know my personality, for my own safety. What Candace Owens did to me during this, when I was at my most afraid, when I was terrified, when I was scared, when I was dealing with victim services, when I was hiding, when I had to have personal security with me, when I couldn't sleep through the night, because people were coming to stomp my teeth out.
Oh, never mind.
Because they thought I made up that I was raped. Now, it sounds far-fetched, but it's not their first time doing this. One of their buddies actually murdered the girl. They were doing this too. I don't remember what happened, maybe last year. Her name is Maddie. She had similar things happening to her, and then he eventually killed her, and then killed himself.
I'm not laughing at her crying. I'm laughing at the fact that I said I liked her teeth right before she said that they threatened to stomp her teeth out. The timing. Oh my god.
So, while I was dealing with victim services, they specifically told me not to talk about this stuff
I can get
publicly
my
because these
jacket
guys are very
on.
scary. They're very scary
Shut up,
guys
chat.
who were actively, like, together, executing this horror movie-like plan against me. And I was told to continue on with my life. Don't say anything. Don't engage. We got to get you somewhere safe. And I went on the Candace Owens show. After...
Okay, I will say, though, her crying, like, the timing of it was kind of weird in this video, and the padding the tears was weird. But it could be because she just has makeup on. But she does provide receipts. She does provide receipts, so let's continue.
She was trying to cancel Cucy Teigen. And I said, I don't believe in cancel culture. I made a video saying cancel culture is for pussies. And I still believe that. I do not believe in cancel culture, especially with what I have experienced. I had a man make up stories about me 9 years ago, or make up stories about being abused. He made them up and let people believe they were about me until I was canceled or getting canceled and losing money. And the ramifications of that have lasted 9 years of my life with not a single media outlet caring about the truth. So I went on Candace's show.
So it's basically what men are talking about with false accusations, but it's a guy falsely accusing a woman. That's quite a case. That's a unique case.
To debate her on cancel culture. She wanted to cancel Chrissy Teigen. She started the hashtag cancel Chrissy Teigen. After I'd supported Candace against all of my friends, were like, stay the fuck away from that girl. She's evil. She pushes horrible things. And I'm like, guys, come on, give her a shot. Maybe people are just talking poorly about her because she has different ideas. I didn't want to cancel anybody, so I gave Candace a shot. I supported her as a friend. I cheered her on. She asked me to come on her show to help promote the first episode of her show. I did. She asked me for show ideas. I gave them. I believe I'm the person who told her about BLM.
For free? For free? Girl, you didn't get paid for that.
Being a scam. The company, not the people or the movement. Yeah, I believe that came from me. I told her about that, which turned into this documentary that she did. I had supported her as a friend, but I can't support cancel culture, and I can't support doing the exact opposite that you say you stand for. And you should call people out. And that's what friendship is being able to say, hey, that's not right. That's not what we do here. That's not what we stand for. I was like, Candace, what are you doing? Let's debate this then. Everything doesn't have to be a giant blow up.
So that's interesting. She basically is saying that Candace was the one who was pro cancel culture, and she was the one who opposed it. And, that actually does align with Candace's beginnings of making that doxing site and saying that, Tree of Logic said that Candace had said people as young as 9 should be on it. And I do vaguely remember that being the case. I'll have to double check. But I do know that she had tried to make a site where people's information should be on it. It's essentially a doxing site. So that would align with that.
It can actually just be a discussion. The night before, her and I have a chat. I let her scream it out. She was really upset that I would dare post anything that goes against her. She took it really personally and wouldn't separate her from the topic. Let her vent and understood where she was coming from. Said, this industry can be tough. I understand how you may have taken it as I was coming at you, not at the topic. I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines. So it's like, okay, yeah, we'll go have our debate. We'll debate the topic, and then we'll go grab dinner, and we're good to go. I had confided in her about what I was experiencing with these stalkers and how scary it was. And I told her who they were. And I told her that I was genuinely afraid. The messages I was getting were so disturbing and frequent. They knew where I was. They could find me. I'd get messages saying that they knew what I was wearing, and they were right when they would message me. Fast forward to her show. She instantly...
That's really, really creepy. Yeah, that's not hard to believe. When you're a woman online, you will get insane stalkers. They'll leave you gifts. They will literally find out where you live, make threats, be obsessed with you no matter how many times you say no. That's a pretty common thing if you're a woman online, so it's not that far-fetched. Thank you, Tony Tom, for $5 super chat. I supported Candace in the beginning, but this girl's talking right now is for real. Okay,
did exactly what the right pretends to not like when the left does. She took a comedy video and sarcasm and read it as a script out of context on purpose to try and make me look like a really bad person. Generally, if you take somebody's jokes and you read them out of context and you read them as a fucking TED Talk, it's gonna sound really bad. But that was your intent. was to take it out of context on purpose and prime your audience to think I'm some horrible person that wants bad things to happen to kids and teens, and I'm on Chrissy Teigen's side, when I was the one who brought up Chrissy Teigen to you, Candace, and you know that. Because I was on your podcast back when it was on PragerU, and I did a whole segment about fuck Chrissy Teigen, and you edited it out. You had never heard of Chrissy and doing all these things. I'm the one who brought it up to you. And then you tried to make it seem...
Is this what they do? Is just like they can't even think of their own talking points?
like I was on Chrissy Teigen's side. I support this bully. I support her trying to make girls kill themselves. She engaged the right and conservatives to act in the identical way to the left, and everything they say that they are against, she was engaging them to do the exact same thing to somebody else. Candace Owens is the kind of person who thinks that whoever yells the loudest wins the argument. So I debate.
You know, she is kind of always yelling. I don't know. I too, a black woman, am always yelling. But I have my chill moments. But honestly, like, I was thinking that. She said it, and I was thinking. I was like, damn. Candace is always having, like, I can't even say the word I want to say, or people are going to, like, get uppity at me. She's having a melty all the time. Like, when do you ever see Candace and she's just, like, calm? And, like, speaking about something calmly. No, she's always, like, like, I know I have my moments when I'm passionate about something, but Candace is always uppity. Like, is there ever a moment in time Candace isn't uppity? Like, I swear to God, I've not seen her calm ever. Ever. Anyway, give me a second. I need to get some water. Here, look. Watch Petals while I'm gone. Hey, Petal. Watch Petals. Sorry, I have a very dry mouth, so I needed to get water. She put on makeup to do this. I don't blame her putting on makeup to do this. You don't put on makeup. Listen, guys, I may come on stream all the time without makeup. Like today, I have lip tint on and chapstick on top of it. That's what I'm wearing. I may do that. But most women don't dare to do that, and it's with good reason. It's because you're essentially having to, quote unquote, compete with women who are wearing it. And usually, you know, the full thing. So if she doesn't, she's just putting herself at a disadvantage of people being mean to her and calling her ugly. So I don't blame her for putting on makeup for this at all. I went without makeup for like 6 months straight on stream, and people were a lot meaner to me. Like I still was the same amount of success, but people were definitely meaner to me and like comparing me a lot and saying I'm ugly. So I understand why you want to wear makeup if everyone else is doing it online, because you're going to be the sore thumb. People are going to be like, why aren't you hot like the other ones who are wearing makeup? It just came to a point for me that I can't do it every single day. It's just not realistic for me, and I would prefer to spend my time on other things on some days, like if that means to make food, if that means to stretch, if that means to do my research for a topic. I think that's more of a priority, but it's a risky move. It really is, to be a woman online and not wear makeup. It's a risky move. It is. People are very mean about it because they're so accustomed to seeing women with makeup on.
Hated her, and frankly, I crushed her. What happened next?
If they don't have long-term girlfriends.
Was the most evil thing I've ever even heard of, and it has disturbed me so much that I just had to I had to tell myself that this couldn't have possibly been happening. There's no way this happened, but it did. I hadn't spoken publicly about this. I'd only posted one court document under the direction of the legal process. I was told, just post that one thing so people kind of know what's going on. I hadn't publicly spoken about this on purpose. This is hard for me to get through. When Candace Owens should have been a friend and helped protect me as a woman, as a friend, as anybody, as anything, as a coworker. She tried to out me on her show as a victim. She said the names of these men on her show, and she started backing them up and victim shaming me. And she wasn't just victim shaming me, she was mocking me on her show and said all.
And I know some people are gonna be like, oh, she used the buzzword, she used victim shaming, but guys, let's remember Candace Owens, who is besties with Andrew Tate, you know, she has photos of him defending him, said, oh, well, The women, they knew what they were doing. Guys, I will explain that Andrew Tate used trafficking tactics, and like he self-admitted to a lot of it, and I point that out and I say that that's definitive. He used a trafficking tactic, multiple of them, but I can't say with certainty that he did like physically abuse someone, for example, right? Because you guys are like, okay, due process, right? But in that same way, you also can't say, oh, these girls are lying, and you know what, based on just because I like Andrew Tate, and also it was their fault that they fell for. It was their fault. That's fucked up. So you also can't say that either, and that's what Candace said. She said it was they knew what they were doing, it's their fault. So this does fall in line with how Candace acts before we roll our eyes and say, oh, she said the buzzword victim blaming. It's just shorthand for what she did. And Candace has done that.
All of their names, and she knew specifically that I was told by victim services not to say these guys' names out loud. This is all they wanted. They wanted more fuel. They want more people to come at me. They want more people to come after me. She knew I was fucking terrified. I out-debated her so she was gonna wreck my life. And she did everything she could from that moment to wreck my life. I was there for the purpose of her smearing me, to help these men. The footage of me on that show was given in real time to the 4 men that at that moment I had a restraining order against. Allegedly, it was Gina, Candace Owens' manager, standing backstage filming me and giving that footage to those men so they could post it online before the show even aired and smear me. They had a premeditated plan with Candace Owens' manager and Candace, allegedly, that no matter what was going to happen on that show, she was going to punish me for daring to debate her, for daring to have an opinion and to actually stand up for the values that conservatives pretend they have. I have to say that again so that we can understand that. 4 men that I was so scared of, I had to...
Candace acts like a fucking pit bull. She really does. I know you guys compare me to Pitbull, but you want to talk about Pitbull? Candace does act like one. It's just like every time you fucking see her. So I don't know. To me, that falls in line. That's fucked up if she did this. But again, Nicole does provide some receipts. Like, it's like, okay, then where'd they get the footage from? So we'll see. We'll see.
Daring to have an opinion and to actually stand up for the values that conservatives pretend they have. I have to say that again so that we can understand that. 4 men that I was so scared of, I had to file restraining orders because their actions were resulting in threats, credible threats to my life. Super fans, like picture horror movie super fans that won't leave me alone. Candace Owens took it as a game. Let's fucking cancel Nicole Arbor. Let's get her. Let's get these dangerous, scary men who have a history of domestic violence I'm gonna help them. It's so disturbing. You don't out a stalking victim or a domestic violence victim or any sort of victim.
That jump cut was very unnecessary.
On your show as a gotcha moment. Mentally and emotionally healthy people wouldn't do that. The only segment I was supposed to be there for was that topic. I was supposed to have a one-on-one debate with her. And then she switched it to me being on the panel.
Why did Candace gotta be so personal?
I think everybody at the show, I think
why
the
does she have
audience,
to
I think
get
everybody
that
upset.
personal?
And I left when my segment was done. I had staff from Daily Wire chasing me out of the building as I was leaving.
That's what pit bulls do. Everything's fucking personal.
Apologizing
won't let go.
profusely, saying they had nothing to do with that. I've heard a bunch of them have quit working with Candace since. The makeup artist from set that day messaged to apologize and let me know she had nothing to do with that. I reached out to Jeremy from Daily Wire and was basically like, why for a debate on this topic would you put me in harm's way? Why would you do that? He agreed that didn't need to be in the episode. And basically as a trade, I had to act like I stormed off the set so that they could get ratings. Roll that back in your head for a second. I'm a victim of stalking and worse. I don't have to get into all of it. Candace Owens tried to out me and what I've been through on her show put me in danger. And to preserve my safety, I had to pretend and let them get this soundbite and let them roll with this big story so that Candace can get ratings off of it. And in exchange, they wouldn't put me in direct harm's way by posting that segment. I had to make that trade. I was a girl.
That's a messed up trade. I can see why she agreed to do it. Imagine that apparently she's saying that they allegedly leaked things, so they wouldn't be above airing that out. So I can see why she accepted it. She didn't want to make her situation worse.
Alone in a brand new city in America. I'm from Canada. I didn't have my family and friends with me. I had to make that trade. I made some vague comment along the lines of, if I try and make anything of this, then they're going to come for me. The full force of Daily Wire smearing a stalking victim because she didn't want to be outed for her own safety. Literally just let this stuff sink in. There were comments made that they're going to delete different parts of it too because It didn't make Candace look good. They don't think a female audience would like what she did to me. She said out loud that she was going to cancel me. And that kind of goes against everything that Daily Wire says they stand for. And it's hard to believe.
So you can see, like, that's a reoccurring theme. Is, you know, I'm a free speech advocate isn't actually one. Does something hypocritical, deplatform someone. I'm seeing a trend. I'm seeing the trend that keeps trending. Like, every day it seems like something new about this is coming out. About people within these conservative groups. And it really does suck for those of us who do want free speech to win, and then you have these people who will go and basically pull an Eliza Bleu and put it into vain. It's like in vain.
That those people, I'm going to say those people over at Daily Wire. Daily Wire, if you would like to exclude yourself from this, feel free to let me know. Mentally unwell people get obsessed with people, and it's scary.
Oh, and Daily Wire's involved with this too, in a way?
Dolly Parton currently holds the record for the most restraining orders. And I'm not going to pretend it only happens to people with followings or celebrities. There are so many stories of women or men being stalked, harassed, and then something bad, really bad happens to them. And I was right in that cusp, in that timeline of something might happen to me. And I was forced to negotiate my integrity, reality, and the truth with Daily Wire in exchange for my safety. If that doesn't sit well with you, good. I don't expect you to blindly believe me. And the good thing about consistently being a good person, regardless of smear campaigns and people who joined them over the last 9 years, is that there are good people who've been looking out for me. And one of those really good people,
I can't believe
gave me
Dolly
the footage.
holds.
I don't like that you have.
I can't believe Dolly Parton holds the record, by the way. We were just talking about her the other stream, and I was like, maybe I should listen to her music. I like her demeanor. I like her, how she carries herself, and she dresses the way she does, and it's with an intention, and she's very bimbo power, you know?
People who've been looking out for me. And one of those really good people gave me the footage. I don't like that you have used your audience to engage in cancel culture. Can we call people out? Yes. Can we say that the behavior was disgusting? Yes. But I did not put on a MAGA hat, lose friends and family and brand deals and business and everything to stand for free speech and against cancel culture to have the same people do it. It does not work. You're not realistic. I'm calling out. It's like, I don't believe in cancel culture. I think it's a bad thing.
You did 3 videos and you mentioned my name. So now you're saying,
well, I mentioned your name after. I said I think she's amazing and she's very intelligent and she's great, and I'm not against Candace. Those are my words in the video. And you know this. I will not let you make this a Nicole versus Candace issue. I directed your audience to be as nasty as Chrissy.
I think the reason that you were quite frankly triggered is because there's an entire series on YouTube called Surviving Nicole Arbor where 4 men have talked about how you have abused them. And the entire reason you were triggered is because I used the hashtag Surviving Chrissy Teigen and you called yourself an idiot. Okay. You called men B words. Let me respond. And you're calling my followers vitriolic. This is what I was. No, it's not. You know that those stories are not. You started the whole argument with me before this, and now you're trying to be a bitch.
I have to break up these segments of the show in 30-second clips so I'm not flagged for copyright by the Daily Wire.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad. Again, Candace barking. Bark, bark, bark. She's just too overly aggressive all the time. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, bringing up her stalkers and trying to cancel her. Ew. Grimy.
Even though this footage wasn't aired, they still might hit me with that. So I want to go really quick over some common stalking behaviors that Stalking Prevention Awareness has posted on their website. They include unwanted contact, spreading rumors, following and spying, showing up places, leaving gifts,
I've had stalkers
and
do
waiting
all
for
of
the
these.
victim.
Yeah.
During this episode, Candace Owens helped my stalkers engage in 3 of these dangerous behaviors. Back to the clips. These are people that I have restraining orders against that are weird fans. I actually can't talk about it because there's a legal battle.
There's always a legal battle when somebody's calling you out on your own BS. You're sitting here pretending like there's a vitriolic. They're not vitriolic. I think that's not true.
You're lying.
So, if we remember earlier in the video, Nicole says that she told Candace about these stalkers. Like, she knows that this is actually legitimate. She's like, hey, before the show, these stalkers are actually endangering my life. The police are involved. This is a very serious situation. And she said earlier in the video, too, I think that she had moved multiple times because of this as well. So why would Candace be like, oh, that's bullshit. You're just trying to get out of it. And then make the situation worse and bring her stalkers into it, agitating them further. Not a very humane move.
You can't just go toe-to-toe with me right now.
What am I lying about specifically?
Okay, specifically, there are 4 men. Well, actually, I can't. You know for a damn fact. You guys are gonna have to edit this out. We can't have this online.
So at this point, I had already expressed to Candace that we can't have this online. I need to keep this private. She had already known from our private conversations I was scared of these men and actively seeking help from victim services. I lost track of how many times over the 9 years this has been going on that I told these men to leave me alone, stop contacting me, stop trying to contact me, and that they're scaring me.
I think what you just did is disgusting. You just took something personal and private that I've talked to you about.
It's not private. It's all over the internet. What are you talking about? Brian Upchurch, Matthew Santoro, Tommy Rex, who you brought up to me on the phone call yesterday. It's on the internet. It's not private. I've never spoken to you about.
So I had already vocalized a boundary with Candace, let the show know we can't have this online. She knew that I was uncomfortable. I was visually uncomfortable, and she proceeded anyway to name them.
Yeah, she seems to prioritize her career over having any bit of humanity in this situation.
Name by name, while her manager, I'm going to say allegedly, even though it's pretty obvious what happened, gave this footage.
Hold on. Godzilla 2K 26 $2 super chat. Nicole told Candace and Candace recorded it.
In real time to my stalkers.
Let's make sure that in the post she doesn't.
Wait.
Gave this footage in real time to my stalkers.
Let's make sure that in the post she doesn't say that we didn't give her a platform to say
How could you be that malicious? That actually takes effort to be as malicious as Candace was here. Like, you are actually putting someone in harm's way because you can't intellectually out debate them. So that's what's going on here. Is Candace insecure? Is that what it is, you guys think?
Platform. Okay. Unfortunately,
Doing
being
anything
a
to get
person
ahead.
in the spotlight, I've had some stalkers. And right now, some of those stalkers, you just named them. You doing this right now has nothing to do with the point, but everything to do with you.
And try to air her stalkers out on, like, guys, I understand from firsthand experience. I have stalkers. I have ones that have said some crazy shit. And they continue to this day in some cases. And that little sheet she showed earlier really was true, especially like the unwanted contact and spreading rumors. I've had them do all of these before, pretty much. Yeah, all of them. So I get it. I get why this is so terrible and how she actually did put her in danger's way. She put her in the path of danger. Just for social media points. It's gross.
And you're being mad at me because I disagree with you.
You're supposed to be by this. I'm supposed to be out. Well, with friends like those who go up and make videos of you on the internet calling you a pussy, who needs leftist enemies?
Just breaking up the clips again, and want to point out to anyone listening on the pod that Candace is smiling while she's doing this.
You good?
I know that you guys want the clip of me leaving, so I'm going to give it to you. And I appreciate you having me on. I would love for a real conversation sometime, because I just think what just happened here is really gross, and it did need to happen. I think that we have the opportunity to be better human beings and better women, and set a better example, and I hope that we can do that.
And I think that you're saying that now, but you should have started thinking about that before you posted 3 videos about me.
None of them is,
but you know.
Wow, sassy. You should have thought about me airing your personal drama that could endanger you before you had my name in your mouth.
That now, but you should have started thinking about that before you posted 3 videos about me.
None of them is,
but you know,
none of them is.
Goodbye, girl.
Very mean girl of her. It's like when you're in school and they're like, were you talking shit about me? I heard you were talking shit. Hold me back or I'm gonna beat her up. That's the kind of energy I'm getting from this. No remorse at all. No consideration, no empathy here. It's just about what Candace can use, what dirty methods she can use to get ahead. And, you know, this makes me think about the Steven Crowder situation, how she approached that one too. She went, you know, she pulled the pit bull, bark, bark, bark all over Tim Pool's episode about Crowder. Meanwhile, Crowder's never even met her, and she was oddly defensive. And after the episode today, I actually leaned toward Steven Crowder, and I'll explain why later, but I just want to get through this because it does relate to the Steven Crowder situation, because Candace had to insert herself in it, essentially.
So after the show, Jeremy apparently told her we're gonna chop out that little segment. But they didn't just chop out that little segment. They chopped out a lot. They chopped out where I was clearly out debating Candace on the topic.
All of us women could be friends, but you refuse.
Where she was getting frustrated, where she was yelling on top of me constantly, where she said that she was gonna cancel me. Allegedly, Candace Owens had been taping all of our phone conversations that we had privately as friends forever. She alluded to airing one of our private conversations on her show. So just imagine that. Imagine you call someone that you think is a buddy and they're taping the phone call. And then they're mad at you on their TV show and they're gonna air your private conversation where you talked about being scared of these guys that you have a restraining order against.
Conversations that we had privately, I'm saying. No, absolutely not. Why not?
You can't post our private convo.
Okay, why not?
Who does that?
Because you're saying I'm lying, so it just sort of seems like, first you're saying that I'm lying, and now you're saying that I can't. Which phone call?
The one yesterday.
Nicole, we have permission
We do not.
to pause this clip in post, yes or no, and to insert things that you actually said.
Did you tape our private phone call?
We can move on to the next topic. We don't have.
Ooh, she dodged that one. Did you record our phone call? Next topic. And then she's gonna go off on Steven Crowder about him recording the conversation. Damn.
Now this irony is bananas.
as she
A
says.
day ago, I saw Candace Owens losing her shit at Steven Crowder taping a conversation between him and Jeremy from Daily Wire. Watch what Candace says about this topic.
Why the hell did you record him? What were you doing that for? Did you think you were going to go to
Fair
court?
point.
Did you think you were going to go
Guys.
to court? Because that's the only reason you record someone. You'd be like, I don't trust my ex-fucking wife. Pardon my language, okay? I don't trust my ex-wife, so I'm going to record this phone call for safety, right? You record it because you're nervous that there's going to be a court hearing or the police are going to find out and you've got to back up what you said, okay? Why are you recording your friend? If not because you think it's going to go to court. Oh, because you think it's going to go to public and you're doing it intentionally because you know you're about to start a war. People, please.
She's always pointing at people too. It's just so aggressive.
Use your common sense.
I'm so disappointed in you, and you claim to be versus who you are. Oh, if you get bullied by Candace Owens, you can get through it, everybody.
Candace, knowing that I was not allowed to comment or swing back, knowing that, went on a tirade for days, live streams and tweets and posts, just smearing my name. Everything from I'm not a conservative. Okay, so that's trying to get me away from my community within the conservative community.
She's clearly not a conservative.
She said that I falsely accused men.
I'm a big believer that if a woman falsely accuses you, you should file a report against them. Don't just let it be like, oh, well, phew, I survived that
She dropped the fake charges today, but that's not justice.
one. Like, she has now dropped the charges against Ryan Upchurch.
I'm going to take a second to clarify this because she just said charges. Now, I have no idea what Candace Owens is talking about. There have never been, that I know of, any charges filed against Ryan Upchurch, not by me. I have no idea what she's talking about. So there were no charges, therefore no charges were dropped. Do I wish there were charges against Ryan Upchurch? Do I think there may be in the future? Maybe, but there have never been any charges related to me and Ryan Upchurch ever.
Because she should drop the charges against Ryan Upchurch because she lied, right?
Now I want everyone to imagine this hypothetical with me. Imagine you're the victim of stalking, harassment, violence, domestic violence or worse, and a celebrity.
I don't like her, like, it's just like, because we just went through the Eliza Bleu, like, professional victim thing. It's like, so when I'm hearing it, I'm like my first response is to, like, internally cringe now to hear that word.
Goes onto their platform and tells millions of people that you filed fake charges. Those charges were dropped and you lied. How would you feel?
This is very typical of narcissistic abuse. They form teams and they target their victim and they just pummel them.
Where's Aiden?
They attack like freaking bears until there's nothing left of that person or that person kills themselves. It was told to me that that was the goal, was to make me kill myself, that I would have nobody to go back to. I would be a pariah in my industry. I was talking with the Daily Wire, Babylon Bee, and The Blaze, all three, about doing a show with them, doing comedy stuff with them. All three suddenly were gone. In fact, Seth from Babylon.
You know, and that is how it works. I gotta say, she's not lying that that's how it works. I've seen it.
He was such a coward. He deleted a photo of us together. He didn't bother to ask me what happened.
Oh, I've done my homework. I've done some homework on Nicole Arbor. I remember her, and I remember the Matthew Santoro thing, and I remember, I mean, she addressed it at the beginning of the video if you want to watch it, about how he didn't say it wasn't her until it was too late. Yeah, I'm aware of how she made it big. That just because, like, oh, her jokes weren't funny to you, like, that doesn't mean therefore Candace can act like a fucking psychopath. And, like, it isn't true that that conservative outlets are kind of unfair. Like, in general, conservatives, like, a lot of them, like, as we're seeing how everything's unfolding, there's a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of, no, I'm friends with this person, so fuck my beliefs thing going on. We talked about this all stream, so it's not like that isn't a thing. And this is coming out when the Steven Crowder stuff's coming out, too, so... It's not like there isn't truth to this video, guys. Even if, separate your biases for a second.
He just deleted the photo. And this is how smear campaigns work. They take a lie and then they spread it.
People are trying to give us wallet for days, trying to give us wallet from her, and she wouldn't give it back.
All right, we're gonna clarify this lie once and for all. So Ryan Upchurch was staying in my guest room, and he left a lot of shit in there. Like, I mean, a lot. Here's some of the stuff that he left in there. And it was everywhere. Like, it was a tornado. For those of you listening on the podcast, I'm showing a photo of some of the stuff that he left.
Like an entire this is like, for a guy, this is like a week's worth of things. Like a whole ass week bag of stuff. How do you just leave it around the room? What?
Like, it was a tornado.
Hold on, someone in chat said Nicole's lying. I mean, she literally, you can't lie about video footage. She just showed Candace bringing up something she said she wasn't comfortable with. And then even on the set, she says she's not comfortable with. And you see how Candace handles it. That's not lying. So, and Candace in the past has had pattern behavior. Some of this stuff seems to add up to me. But yeah, we can go based on the receipts for that part at least is true.
Here's some of the stuff that he left in there. And it was everywhere. Like, it was a tornado. For those of you listening on the podcast, I'm showing a photo of some of the stuff that he left. I found in the guest room his wallet. It was just sitting there. I never go in the guest bathroom. And the second I found it, I messaged both him and his mom. Why his mom? Because he lived with her. So I was like, whoever's going to see this first, they must be worried. They don't have the wallet. There, I'm going to message, now they know. Now, thieves don't usually reach out to the people they stole from to tell them that they stole their stuff, do they? Probably not. They also probably don't reach out and ask for an address to put it in an Uber and send it to them, do they? I did that too, but his mom didn't give me an address. A couple hours later, a guy that worked on Ryan's team that I didn't really know, we had kind of said hi to each other a few times while traveling or working, but I didn't know the dude, asked to come meet up with me and pick up Ryan's wallet. I thought it was super strange because Ryan told me he was firing that guy, and I still hadn't heard from Ryan to say that it's okay. So I wanted Ryan to either text me, call me, and say that it's okay.
I'm laughing because so in chat, I just hope Nicole didn't let that grizzly go to waste.
Or come get it himself because I wasn't comfortable just like giving it to this dude I didn't really know. I think that's pretty reasonable, and I think most reasonable people would think that's reasonable. I'm not giving it to some random guy when that person hasn't told me that it's okay. Pretty normal. Later that night, I get a call from someone who said they're the police. I thought they were joking because it was so ridiculous. Basically asserting that if I didn't give it back, that it was theft and that they had reported it. From the moment I found it.
Well, yeah, that is like, if a guy that you don't know is asking for stuff and you give it to them, then you're gonna get blamed. So I can see her logic in this. Hold on, my cat is like fighting for the water bowl. Give me a second, guys. Let me give you some like waiting music and we'll continue this. Hey, Spooky. Yeah, I'm gonna fill it. Give me a second. He knocked it over this morning, and it's right next to my computer, so thank goodness that didn't kill my computer. Okay. Here, listen to this while I'm gone. guys having fun with the... You know what this music sounds like? It sounds like a level in Mario Kart. The one that I grew up playing on Game Boy SP and Game Boy Advance. Like Mario Party, or sorry, not Mario Party, Mario Circuit. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like one of the tropical race levels. Okay, so back to the video.
To the moment it was back in the police custody was less than 24 hours, and it would have been sooner, but the second that you report something as stolen or whatever it is that the report was, I was told by the police I had to give it to a police officer.
There's been 4 days of someone trying to get their wallet back. It shows that something's wrong, right? Like you're like not all there. Like
it turns out it was totally just a PR move for him. Every time he's releasing a song or an album, this Ryan Upchurch guy notoriously causes a massive controversy with people who have large followings. Last year alone, he did the same thing to Morgan Wallen. He had done it to Luke Combs. This was unfortunately my turn. Surprise, surprise, I got a Google alert on my name when this article came out. And the article details how Ryan Upchurch makes millions of dollars using clickbait as his marketing tool. So for those of you who don't know, clickbait is when you make up or sensationalize stories. This is his marketing plan, and he proudly promotes it. Feel free to read this article. It details other people he's done this to. By the way, he lost his wallet every few days.
People are trying to give us wallet for...
What? This goes to show if you say anything with confidence, people just believe you.
Days trying to give us wallet from her, and she wouldn't give it back.
There was one time where I just couldn't take it anymore, and I jumped into her live stream, and I'm like, put me on your live. And she looked.
Listen, guys, you don't have to believe every single thing comes out of her mouth, but you do know how Candace acts, and you do know what happened in this clip actually happened, because the clip is there. That's what we know.
Scared, like wait a minute, why is she on here? I thought she's not allowed to talk about this. What she lied and said that I had blocked her. She was never blocked. I had lawyers and victim services people messaging me frantically being like, Nicole, don't do it, we have to keep you safe.
Here's a post she made lying to her audience saying that I blocked her, and right after that I was in her freaking live stream.
Yeah, anyways, Cole said let her join, and this was a publicity stunt. What was a publicity stunt? My discount is Cucy. That's the code Cucy for tonight. How could you possibly say that we did this for publicity? Discount code Cucy. Just stop with the lies. Go dailywire.com/subscribe. There are so many people left and right that are just fake.
She knew what she was doing.
So true, Candace. So true.
And she knew that I couldn't respond.
She went to the domestic violence clinic, and like, it's just not okay. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know Ryan Upchurch.
I just want to show you who these men are that Candace Owens came to rescue. Take a look.
I got mad. And look at my hand.
I saw you get mad.
I punched the table 3 times.
That's not cool.
You're right, it's not.
Fuck you. And if you see me somewhere, motherfucker, you better stay far as fuck away.
He definitely has that crazy look in his eye. The physiognomy don't lie here.
I'm not fucking playing, and you know that I ain't fucking playing. Telling everybody about God's motherfucking plan, wouldn't you?
The idea that you were scared for your life is like, come on, man.
Pulled out this knife and I stabbed the fuck out of the chair that I'm sitting in.
This is my chair. It died last night. I'm still sitting in it. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you. And me and you both know I'll pull up and smack the fuck out of you.
Come over here so I can wipe your goddamn face on this motherfucking concrete. Shut the fuck up.
Tommy Vexed.
This is Tom.
He seems like an upstanding citizen.
Tommy Vexed. Allegedly, Candace and her manager are now friends with this guy. I made the mistake of associating with him for a few weeks. He told me he was being canceled because he's a Trump supporter. That seems to be like the platform that he goes on, is I'm being canceled because I'm conservative and a Trump supporter. It turns out that...
That sounds familiar.
There are many. I want to clarify this because I talked about it on the panel, and I got some of my facts mixed up. So I want to clarify this. There are many allegations of violence, domestic violence, and violence against women perpetrated by this man. I have heard between 7 and 9 restraining orders have been filed against him. A bunch of them have been filed successfully, and I know for a fact that he's currently in court again this year for another restraining order. There's even an abuse support group on
Yeah, I mean, guys, you could say anyone can say anything and lie, but that sounds actually pretty credible to me. Like, if they're actually going to the police and he's actually getting restraining orders filed against him, like, that's all you could do if you were the person in the situation being attacked. That's all you could do, right? Like, this is pretty descriptive. She was hit in the face with enough force to draw blood, dragged by hair, and choked until she was near unconscious. Her life verbally threatened. Like, that's pretty gruesome. Temporary restraining order extended a handful of times.
Orders have been filed against him. A bunch of them have been filed successfully, and I know for a fact that he's currently in court again this year for another restraining order.
Why isn't he in jail then? Well, I counter this question to you. Why isn't OJ in jail? Right? Like, everyone makes jokes like about that all the time, right? Like, because it's not perfect. Like, she says in this video herself too that the justice system isn't perfect. I mean, that's one option. It happens both ways all the time. People who didn't do things are in jail all the time. People who did do things aren't in jail all the time, right? OJ was innocent. I mean, yeah, legally he was, but like everyone makes jokes all the time, like, oh, he actually did it. And like he even made like a joke about that. But I'm just using him as a point because he was like a pop culture case where people made jokes about like, oh, he got away with it because this and that. Obviously, legally he is innocent. But I'm just using it as an example of like, because people joke about it so much, as a demonstration for that the other way around could also be true. So if I saw I'm just saying, guys, like, put it this way. If you're a father and you have daughters, they're like 16, 18 years old, and you see this, that he allegedly hit a woman in the face with enough force to draw blood, drags her by the hair, and chokes her till she's unconscious, and then verbally threatens her life. Even if you say that's alleged, like, would you let your daughter around this individual? I fucking wouldn't. I wouldn't allow any of my female friends that I care about around this individual. Especially if there's multiple restraining orders and this is over and over. I certainly would not. So...
successfully, and I know for a fact that he's currently in court again this year for another restraining order. There's even an abuse support group on Instagram called Surviving Tommy Vax. This man is terrifying.
He has a team of lawyers, not a court-appointed lawyer. That's why he's not in jail. That's a good point.
Over the last 2 years, he's made over 1,000, if not thousands, of posts about me, when I hardly knew him for a few weeks. This one in particular was extra scary because he details how easy it would be to essentially hire a hitman. And although he doesn't say my name in it, there were comments below from fans saying, "Is this about Nicole Arbor?" And he liked it. "Send this to Ryan for Nicole Arbor." And he liked it.
Hold it down, fuck it, bash its head in.
Matthew Santoro, similar story.
Guys, no matter how much you hate women, theoretically, listen, I'll put it this way. I don't like rats. I fucking hate rats. Coming from New York, I hate rats. I really do. I think they're like so fucking disgusting. Pet rats are an exception because, you know, they're like clean and, you know, kind of, you know, you see the little white rat with the black eyes. Like, yeah, okay, that's different. But we're talking about a rat, a gross fucking street rat. I hate them. But you want to know something? Even then, I wouldn't feel joy in seeing a dead one. I wouldn't feel joy in killing one. You know, so no matter how much you actually, unironically, if you hate women and like it's low key or high key, so to speak, gives you feelings of joy to see women suffer because it's like base, right? Even then, like, I don't know how you can see this and like this makes you happy to see a person just be so extensive and violent. Like, even if you're laughing when women get into trouble or drama or whatever, I just don't get it. Because like, even for me, it's something that I really fucking hate. I wouldn't have pleasure in watching it physically suffer. I think it takes a certain type of person to take joy in watching people suffer from physical harm. Maybe the exception to that would be like if it's someone who did a lot of harm to others, like a child predator. Yeah, that can make sense. But because those people don't have humanity, but I don't relate to people who seriously dislike someone so much that they would enjoy them being physically harmed and watching that. He was in jail, wasn't he? I don't know about this guy.
And he liked it.
I'm just hearing
Send
about
this to
it from this
Ryan
video.
for Nicole Arbor, and he liked it.
Hold it down, fuck it, bash its head in.
Matthew Santoro, similar story, said that she aggressed him and then pretended she was the victim.
How do you know that he made it all up?
He flat out told me that it was a lie, that
I was hit in the face for the first time in my life.
people do things mutually for promotion. Basically, he called it clickbait. I know the truth.
Watch it.
That is like really cringe. The fact that he edited himself in crying. Like, ew. My pussy just got dry. Ew.
The live streams back is so hard because it takes me right back to where I was when it happened. And I had friends calling, I had family calling, and all these people being like, what's happening? Why is she doing this to you? And I'm like, because she's a really bad person. Because there was no other answer. She knew what she was saying wasn't true.
Thank you, Blue Sky.
And it didn't matter.
I'll read super chats.
It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing. It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing.
Someone earlier said that when Nicole was huge fat black cats, Nicole was generally disliked when she was in character. People lose morality when they see a person they dislike getting hurt. That's true, and it's really scary how charisma goes so far. It's really scary how being likable, how much you can get away with. And you've seen that especially this past year. Even today, right? Like, because people dislike me so much, they rather fold on their own beliefs to see me suffer rather than to have integrity in things like free speech, right? And that's really scary that people don't have any sort of discernment with that and can't remove, at least partially remove their biases. Can you remove a full bias? Maybe not, but, you know, just step back and try to be reasonable, try to look at it from a more objective point of view. And that really is scary, but I don't think that justifies it, regardless of how much I may think that she in the past was unfunny in some ways. That wouldn't make me enjoy watching her suffer. I think there's something a little psychotic about people who would enjoy watching people suffer just on the basis they don't like them for their own personal preferences. So we're not talking about a child predator or something like that. We're talking about, or someone being brought to justice, right? And they're like in jail because they did something morally bad. And you're like, yay! We're not talking about that. We're talking about you just thought someone was unfunny. You personally don't like them. And then you're just cheering on when you watch them get like physically harmed. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Because I know there's going to be some fucking dumbass in chat that's be like, oh, didn't you celebrate? Like, and because they have zero discernment to understand what I'm saying. Because they will always think everything I say is in bad faith and always view me in that light. So I have to give these dumb disclaimers that shouldn't have to be fucking explained. Blue Sky 199 super chat. I enjoy your coverage of political pop culture. We'll play the video again in a second, guys. Push-ups 2345 $2 super chat. We saw Spooky. He's not dry. Yeah, he does have very silky fur. Mike D 499 super chat. This is hilarious. See the history of the Tea Party. Can you find the plants by 3-letter? Their goal is to divide. Their goal to divide is playing out in real time. Divide and conquer, I guess. Tony Ty $2 super chat. Maybe you should check yourself now. Ha 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 ha. The Chuggy Show $4.99 super chat. I'm behind you, but you can find this on World Hip Hop website. I sent them an email with no response. Yeah, I heard people had reached out to them. Godzilla 2K26 $2 super chat. Nicole told Candace and Candace record. Okay, we read that one. Yeah, okay, we're up to date now.
It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing.
Meanwhile, other victims of these men
What
were
was that
true,
screenshot?
and it didn't matter.
It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing. It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing. It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing.
Meanwhile, other victims
Yeah, they literally know each other.
of these men were hitting me up and being like, what is Candace doing? Why is she doing this to us? Because it's not just me. It's not just me. You know, she'll go on about Epstein and Weinstein and how did this all happen? Because of fucking people like you, Candace. Because of people like you. Because you had no idea what you were talking about, but you kept talking. There's multiple victims just like, okay, we're finally gonna get these guys.
Oh my Gucci knows.
And then Candace Owens backs them up.
First and foremost, I have never spoken to Ryan Upchurch in my life, so trust the science is the code, Daily Wire.
When I needed my community the most, you separated me from everybody. It's wild because like Candace Owens will lose it if a teenager tweets like, don't mess with, I don't know, the Arabs or something. She'll be like, I'm getting threatened. For those of you who might
No, she'll be like,
have missed it, one of my stalkers is Jared Taylor from Black Rifle Coffee
oh, sorry,
Company.
that was a bad impression. Can I get a redo? She'll be like,
for those of you who might have missed it, one of my stalkers is Jared Taylor from Black Rifle Coffee Company. After Candace did this to me, she got a sponsorship from Black Rifle Coffee Company. Coincidence?
damn, I'm sorry, but like she is vindictive. Ever see a vindictive person like this? I don't know. I think you need some level of not caring about other people. Like some level meaning like a deeper level of that to pull that off. Like
wild, because like Candace Owens will lose it if a teenager tweets like, don't mess with, I don't know, the Arabs or something. She'll be like, I'm getting threatened. For those of you who might have missed it, one of my stalkers is Jared Taylor from Black Rifle Coffee Company. After Candace did this to me, she got a sponsorship from Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Like that is insane. That's what I'm talking about. Like just getting that much joy from it. That's insane.
Coincidence? She's not just a mean girl. She's not just the ultimate pick-me, which she is. She's the opposite of everything that she pretends to be. And Daily Wire, how? How can you have Jordan Peterson talking to everybody about being a good person, living a good life, while also having Candace try and destroy them? You're full of shit. I fully expect that after this, she's going to go on another smear campaign about me, that she's going to try and spread more lies, that she's going to try and use court documents to twist.
I haven't checked if she has yet, if Candace responded to this yet. Has she? Nunya $4.99 super chat. A victim, regardless of how poorly the public view them. I don't care. Let me see this. Oh yeah, someone sent me the court document. It says defendant Upchurch Ryan, Taylor Jared, Santoro Matthew, Arbor, and Cummings Thomas. Let's see. This is a lot to read right now. It says there's like a lot of notes here. It says Chancellor's order suspending briefing deadlines of hearing pending motions, converting then it has the day oral argument to scope of non-suit and setting briefing deadlines. Joint motion to continue defendant's deadline for additional briefing on scope of non-suit and continue oral argument. Why can't they just type this in fucking normal English terms? Cancel motion to dismiss hearing. Agreed to order suspending briefing deadlines and hearing date. Cancel motion hearing. They just say that a bunch of times. Defendant's motion to dismiss. This is from 4/23/21. I could show this. It doesn't look like there's private information on this part. I mean, these are public. The link is right here. Yeah, these are public. Okay, I'm gonna show it. Okay, this is what it says. This is the first page. If you guys want to screen cap it and look at it yourselves. Notice of appearance. Notice of appearance. Agreed to continue hearing on temporary restraining order. Okay, so I guess she asked for a restraining order. Tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong. I'm no Ricada law. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to interpret this. There's a lot of text. You guys can always pause the video if you want to read it, but this is the last page. So this was the conclusion of it because it looks like it's going in order over the months. This is pretty long. Yeah, I'm bimbo-splaining it right now. Yeah, it's in legalese. Anyway, let's finish this video.
It and make it seem like something it's not, or that I've been defeated, or I was called a liar and whatever. The judge said I'm not credible and threw it all out. In actuality, the judge hadn't talked to me. I'm not getting into all the details of the legal stuff right now, but what I can tell you is that at no point have I been beat in court. At no point has a judge said I owe any of these people money. It's just lies that they make up. At no point has a judge thrown anything out. Different parts have been moved, dissolved, and paper moved around, all to get towards trial. And this is just legal games. Even if a judge called me a liar, which, by the way, this may come as a shock. But
so I guess that would surmise what we just saw on the paperwork. Says just postponed.
There are victims every day who don't get justice. The justice system is not even anywhere close to perfect. Candace Owens is exactly what conservatives say that they're not. And the truth is, without middle-aged white guys feeding her talking points, she crumbles. She doesn't know how to attack or debate a topic without attacking.
She shouldn't have said that because now middle-aged white guys are gonna be like, wow, you're a crazy libtard. Like, probably should have omitted the whole, like, white guys part.
The person. Someone has to tell her that yelling a personality doth not make. The digging up dirt thing, like, grow up.
Saying they're old is relevant because it implies, like, they know more than her, but she didn't have to say why.
Grow up. She was dropping coupon codes while doing a smear campaign against me. In the middle of the smear, she would drop coupon codes. If that doesn't tell you what her intent was, I don't know what will.
Let's talk about anti-slap suits really quick.
Generally used against people who've been victims of smear campaigns. So imagine this. Your abuser spreads everywhere that you beat up your kids. You hate your kids. Maybe they're trying to win the kids in a divorce. They spread that you hate your kids, you're a horrible person, you're making porn on the side. Did you not know you're making porn? You're making porn now. They said it on the internet, they're doing it. So to combat this form of narcissistic abuse, which is what smear campaigns are, your lawyer files a court injunction and a defamation suit. The purpose of doing that is to try and slow down the abusers. Because if those rumors get out about you, there's no telling how much it's going to damage your business, your reputation, your children, your family, your mental health, and whatever else it might damage. As we know in
someone in chat said she accused Ryan Upchurch for trying to molest her or something after telling everyone for a year he was a gentleman, how gentleman he was, he saved him from a date rape attempt. I don't know much about that, but if that was the same guy where it was like the like gruesome description, I still stand by that. If I hear that about any guy, it's not personal. If I heard that about any guy, that they have a bunch of claims like that against them, I would definitely be careful about having any females I care about around them, because like, let's weigh the risk. Okay, don't do that and have my daughters hurt, or do that and be on safe side. There's no real loss there. Like, it's kind of like, why do you jump when you get scared? Because it costs less to jump and possibly save your life from danger as like a quick reaction, as opposed to wasting the 1 calorie you just spent. I didn't have time to like look into the details of all these characters, but the reason I even found interest in this video was because she provided the receipts for Candace doing what she did of bringing her stalkers into it, which wasn't right, and it's in line with Candace, with what Candace did with saying it was the women's fault, when it's like, okay, were you there? Like, she can come to her own conclusion using critical thinking, but in that same way, if like, were you there, it's like, well, that can be used the other way around too. And for her to deny, basically, based on her being friends with Tate, that, oh, it's a woman's fault, even though he admits to using trafficking tactics, it's pretty shady. It's pretty fucking shady. What's this thread? Hold on. Someone just linked me a thread. Hold on. Can't do everything at once.
Things get online, it's really difficult to get them down. Now, what I've observed is bad guys go in and file what's known as an anti-slap suit. They claim it is their First Amendment right to say whatever the heck they want, even if it's lies, even if it's damaging you, even if it's putting you in harm's way. See, and I don't really think the founding fathers fought to make America free so that you could destroy the lives of people who challenge you. You psycho. Candace Owens, the racist man's MLK. Remember, the bad guy at any point could stop harassing you, leave you alone, stop spreading that you're beating up your kids, but they don't want to. They want to hurt you. An anti-slap suit is meant to defend your First Amendment right to free speech. However, in the last few years, it has been weaponized.
So what exactly is like the white man's MLK? I'm trying to process what she just called Candace, the white man's MLK. But she's not white. I don't know. That, see, this is why nobody liked Nicole's stand-up. It's because like she would say shit and it's just like, what? What do you mean by that? But that's not really the point here. It doesn't mean that
by abusive people to not only
she's
silence,
not saying things that are true here,
but financially abuse their victims. In my personal belief, this is exactly what Candace Owens did to Kim Klacik. Only a couple weeks after what Candace did to me, she did it to another woman, a conservative woman who'd run for office. Candace made wild claims against this woman, like really damaging. There was claims in there that revolved around escorts and sex work and her being
like, I'm sorry, but it's like, it's kind of funny to call her the white man's MLK, but not for the reason that Nicole is saying it. I'm just imagining like the memes that you can make from that.
Woman who'd run for office. Candace made wild claims against this woman, like really damaging. There was claims in there that revolved around escorts and sex work and her being a madame and all sorts of really hurtful things. And Kim did exactly what we're told to do. You filed a defamation suit. And Candace did the bad guy move. Now this is really important. A lot of really big conservatives knew what Candace did to me. And they begged me. When I say beg, I mean begged me not to tell the truth, not to make a video about Candace, not to talk about it publicly, not to go on Megyn Kelly and talk about it. They begged me. They're like, we need her for the movement. We need her. She's worth so much money to us. We pumped so much money into her. We need Candace. You can't go after Candace. Please don't go after Candace. And then I saw Candace go after Kim Klacik, a mom who's just trying to make Baltimore better. She did the same thing to her. And because Candace has apparently an unlimited legal budget to bully people online, that meant Kim suddenly had to pay probably $100,000 or $200,000 in legal fees to fight that. It's a frivolous lawsuit usually used to drain the bank account of your victim. It literally gives gasoline to the bullies. And that's what Candace did. And it was costing her so much money to fight this frivolous lawsuit that Candace put on the side that they eventually reached a settlement where Kim would just pay her legal fees and they would walk away, call it a day. Candace did not defeat Kim, but she posted as if she did. This woman is just a menace. She's just fucking evil. I have so much to say, but I know I gotta end this somewhere. I want you guys to know that this experience rocked my faith in humanity. Like genuinely. I can't ignore that there's a common denominator in all of these people that have done horrible things to me. They're all conservatives, and they're as.
I'm gonna let her finish. Yeah, that is fucked up that people will essentially keep you tied up in court to keep your mouth shut. And it definitely is a method that people in these industries use to make you shut up. So that is a thing that happens.
Genuinely. I can't ignore that there's a common denominator in all of these people that have done horrible things to me. They're all conservatives, and they're, as much as I don't want to admit it, there seems to be a running theme of being disgusting to women, of not caring about the truth. When you come with the same venom for child exploitation and human trafficking as you do Taylor Swift's new album, you probably are just an angry person.
Real nice. Okay, but Candace is an angry person, but she is though. Yeah, it's not gonna float well with conservatives because they're gonna feel personally attacked by that. But I do understand what she's saying because obviously I'm in a more unique position of being not only a woman with some conservative beliefs, but also from the inside out, looking from the inside out and knowing how these individuals operate. And this is stuff I've been talking about too. And you do notice when women in the conservative community speak up, there is a lot of flack for it. There is. They get a lot of shit when they speak up. So, you know, it is true.
all of this to say, I would like to formally announce my retirement from all of this bullshit. I don't want to live a life that's dictated on me hating people based on who they vote for or who they love or what they look like. The truth is, I have no idea what conservatives stand for anymore. We're Christians, but we don't have Christ-like. Cardi B twerking is wrong and disgusting. But Andrew Tate running a digital brothel is okay because he says our talking points. And you know what? I love Michelle Obama.
It's true. I like, she's right. She's right. This is what I was saying.
I think she's awesome. I think Michelle Obama is the shit. And I like Oprah. And I like people. I genuinely
I don't know what she likes about Michelle Obama, but go off.
We like people.
She's entitled to like her.
And I have to really do some soul searching and be like, wow, where have I been at Candace Owens? Have I made mistakes along the way?
Assume
Yeah,
pronouns.
I have. In fact, I didn't even know that some people are fat. Get this! Throwback to the first big video. I didn't know that some people gain weight after severe emotional trauma to almost build padding. I didn't know that. I get why some people were especially upset at that video now. I only learned that in the last year, but you can't get mad at me for not knowing what I didn't know. Please teach me. But if I would have known that, I definitely would have angled that a bit differently. So I don't want to be part of this team that is full of venom and hate and has fun smearing people every day. And every day is another fight. And who can we me? Like the word grifter is thrown around. I don't even think you guys know the definition of it. By definition, grifter is these people like this. They're daily picking fights with people just for the sake of fighting, just to get one up, just to feed their ego a little hit of dopamine so they can get through to the next day and go narcissistic abuse on somebody else. I'm not interested. Candace tried to insult me by saying, you're not one of us. And this experience has taught me you're right. In the words of Blink-182, I don't ever want to be you. And for those of you who instantly know that's not Blink-182, you are my people. So instead, in the words of My Chemical Romance, your misery and hate will kill us all. If conservatives aren't all evil.
It would have been so funny if she, like, it's a good bit. Like, misquoting or like if you say, oh my God, is that the Beatles? Like, that is the best troll. It really is. But, yeah, well, her whole spiel about, she doesn't want to be a part of it. I can see why. I can see what she's saying with that, because there are a lot of aspects that are absolutely fucking foul within these communities and how they won't call out certain behavior if you're part of the clique, even though they will be doing the same thing as the other party they're speaking against, to just as much as severe degree. So I do hear her out. If she feels like she can't be a part of politics because it's dirty and grimy, she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be a part of it then. I agree with her decision to leave. I don't blame her. But I also don't think that her saying she likes Michelle Obama is going to get her kicked out of the conservative club necessarily. So is she being a little dramatic? She's being a little dramatic. This is a, I decided I would use this right now. This is like, because it was on my desk. This is like a, this brown stick women use to like make it look like there's a shadow, and you like put it under your lip and on top of your lip, and it makes your lips look better. It's dumb, I know. I mean, you basically can't notice the difference, but that's basically the female experience. Two things you need to know about women. 1, we complain a lot. 2, you will not understand what the fuck we're complaining about. And that concludes today's lesson. Okay, so after I watched the Nicole Arbor thing, I just wanted to get that out of the way too, because it relates to the Steven Crowder thing and her going off about him. And I watched the Crowder episodes, why I delayed the stream for a bit. And I saw that Tim Pool ran a poll, and it said, who is right, Crowder, Daily Wire, or abstain? And it turns out that Steven Crowder got 63% of the audience's vote, which is pretty huge. That means he swayed a large part of the audience by going on the episode. And he actually did sway me a little bit too, because he had proposed a question that I didn't think of. And he said, well, if this guy's my friend and I record it behind his back, which we know, like, Candace pointed that out, why that's hypocritical now. But basically, friends don't give each other shitty contracts with lowballs and then not negotiate the terms, especially when it's to help other people. So Steven emphasized on Tim Pool that it wasn't about the money, but if they were friends, why is his friend giving him $50 million, right? You guys are like, wow, that's a lot. But they explained on Timcast, and Tim went into it too, that the cost of the actual production, it's not really that big of a profit overall. It's like, it is for most people. Like, you hear even $1 million, you're like, wow. But like, in terms of the penalties they were adding, like, and he said if you added all the penalties up, it was 120%. That is insane. Meaning you would lose money. There would be a negative 20%. And then the terms about them owning the content, everything. And he said that he had never received a counter offer after he had asked about not doing this to other smaller conservatives and basically screwing them in the contract, meaning they don't own anything, or the way that they own things for their own brand, and having all these penalties and restrictions and basically punishing them in the place of YouTube, meaning like, oh, if YouTube punishes you, we punish you too. And I get it. It's like, it's capitalism. It's like, if they don't get a profit, then why should you? But also, you know, Steven did propose a better method of doing it, and he was right. It's proof of concept. Steven Crowder's method does work. He makes a lot of money. He's had huge success. He had like 500,000 people watching him on election night on Rumble, like an alternative platform. I believe that was the number. That's a lot of people. So he did bring up some great points, and they were saying, yeah, Crowder's not really money grubbing from experience. All of them were saying anecdotal examples. He doesn't really like spending money, even if it's like, oh, here's a nice gun I should spend money on. And the part about like the no counter offer after he had said his concerns and he wanted their word that they wouldn't do those type of penalties with younger or up and coming conservatives, and them not agreeing to that, not negotiating that. But this is allegedly his friend, but he's also giving him a shitty contract with a ton of penalties. And then also it's essentially a low ball for how much Steven Crowder makes on his own and how much his production costs. Like thousands of dollars of, he has like 30 employees, legal team, things like that, or like lawyers. So he brought up really good points, I thought. So he actually swayed me to his side more. So that's how I felt about the Tim Pool thing. I don't know what you guys concluded from it, how it made you feel, but the poll seems to weigh in Steven Crowder's favor. And I really like the message that he is trying to put out there too, about big conservative media trying to play ball with YouTube. Oh yeah, that was a huge part. Him talking about YouTube saying, oh, you gotta play ball, meaning like you have to not talk about certain concepts, certain topics. You can't say certain things. And but if you play ball, we'll reward you. That is being a sellout. He's right. That's fucked up. And he makes a great point. It's hard. It's the harder option, but he's right. Like, if the whole point is to go against that, then you have to actually stand by that, even though it's really difficult. So it would be a big difference if these big conservative corporations did that, especially when there is proof of concept that it can be very profitable in the way that he's saying to do it. Because he does it himself. He puts his money where his mouth is. So I thought that was interesting to hear that behind the scenes, YouTube is like, you better play ball. If you do, we'll, pay you. Don't talk about certain topics, okay? Which is kind of defeating the whole point of freedom of speech and what conservative values are supposed to stand for. So, yeah, I agree with Steven Crowder on that. And I think he made a lot of really good points. And actually, it changed my mind on what people were saying about, like, oh, it should be behind the scenes. Like, it didn't have to be on the internet. I was leaning toward that way, but actually I changed my mind. I agree that actually it had to be aired out. We should actually know about this, about YouTube saying to conservative companies, oh, play ball. Don't talk about certain topics. And then the same conservative companies want to be like, but free speech, though. I understand their strategy. Their point of view is like, oh, you have to play ball within the Overton window. I get it. But they're kind of enforcing it, and they don't have to. They do have alternative options and a proof of concept. So I actually do believe that a lot of this did need to be aired, and that people do need to know about it. And I think Steven brought a lot of awareness to this issue, and I think that's a good thing. Regardless if it's like, no, I like Ben Shapiro, I don't want them to fight. There's a bigger problem here that does need to be addressed. Same thing with the Eliza Bleu thing. No, I'm friends with her. It's like, no, but there's a bigger issue here of free speech. So, I think that we should be talking about it. And it's not something that could have been hashed out behind the scenes. Clearly he did try and it didn't work. So, yeah. That's how I feel after watching that episode. Unironically, he changed my mind. So I'm happy I watched that episode and delayed the stream for that. I thought it was pretty insightful. Also, there was a lot of people watching. I mean, like, it was Tim Pool's second highest viewed episode. So he's doing something right. He clearly does have a good concept of how to make money without having to bend the knee. So I would pay attention to some of the things he's saying. Okay, so there was these, I saw some concerning tweets from this person. It was brought to my attention. I don't know the context yet. Eliza Bleu, I have the text still. Were you trying to traffic me? I know it's like, oh, it could be a schizo. And then there was this one, though. I just want to know what the fuck this is about. Is this a schizo post? Is this a person she knew? Let's take a look. So this is in regard to this. This is her saying, I'm not anyone special. I have an old phone. I work at a 15-20 hour job. I do my public advocacy on my own, no organization funding or backing. Okay, but yet it's your entire brand though. Elon Musk made me a promise and he kept his promise. This is the tweet I was talking about earlier, by the way, about them working together. And they've had meetings and such. And then this same person replies that said the "were you trafficking me" message. Eliza, this is wild. Everyone knows you and your past is fucking pissed over this. You absolutely had a normal childhood. You're not a victim of trafficking. You can advocate without making things up. This is so offensive and problematic. I don't know who this person is, but definitely caught my eye there. I don't know, something's gonna come of that. Let's see. Then this person made a thread too. I was sent this. What's this about? Can I say something controversial real quick? I noticed something interesting about an anti-trafficker survival story. So Eliza Bleu, a known anti-trafficking advocate, says she was trafficked at 17 when she came to Los Angeles for $500. Eliza was born in 1985, making it year 2002 when she started being trafficked. Eliza Bleu has not always been Blue. She's gone by Cuts, Sep, and Nose. And then there's her actual name too, by the way, which was discussed earlier. She's been a hairstylist and model. Here's a video of Liza Cuts when she was best friends with Jeffree Star at YouTube in 2007. So that's a few years after. As Liza knows, talking about the privilege of refusing $150,000 for sex, made only 5 years ago. Like 6, I think, now. A show called Blind Date where she's extremely rude to other people. She's 21, so the year's 2006. Yet she says she was trafficked for 15 years since 2002. Yeah, on the show they do say she's 21, by the way. We watched the episode last night. A hip-hop style video of Eliza Knows twerking for an app advertisement called World Star 5 years ago. The video was posted. I'm going to watch that. Now, another thing happened in 2002. My Chemical Romance is getting big. Eliza was cutting hair for the bands 2006 through 2007. Yeah, we read about that before. Okay. So to distance herself from being buddies with Jeffree Star, Alyssa Simmons, who dated Gerard Way's brother and Gerard Way himself, the My Chemical Romance guys, I think, is Gerard. She changed her alias to Eliza Knows and again to Blue and was talked about being trafficked from 2002 to 2017, 15 years. Yeah, you know, this is making it pretty clear. Looks like Eliza is always going to one thing to the next, as long as it benefits her and gives her fame. No wonder why a lot of sex trafficking and CSIM survivors are blocked by her, because she does not give a fuck about them. So this is another thread, doing some math on the dates. Here's her with the free Tesla. Yeah, we know she blocks people. Hold on, let's take a look at this. Jane, you're correct. Eliza has blocked hundreds of CSA and trafficking survivors who dare ask for one crumb of accountability, with her constant conflation of right-wing abuse being removed and Twitter's CSEM issue. She does profit off of this. This is how she earns her income. You know what, Eliza? I think you're trying to profit of Twitter making profit off of child abuse material. Yeah, so people are like asking her about it. Oh, Lila McKelway interacted with Liza. Lila McKelway has a lot of good receipts on trafficking, especially with like Pornhub. She also supports fleeing sex workers and porn off of Twitter. Well, that would be hypocritical considering she kind of partook in that and didn't really address it or clarify it. You can change your mind, but she didn't really make that line that you know, to break that up. There's a lot of info. Oh, it ends there. Oh, and then she links to Manuel's thread. But yeah, this did a good job at clarifying the dates, actually. You guys already know my opinion on porn and everything, but still have some information in there. Anyway, guys, it's been almost 4 hours. I'm tired. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for continuing to do hashtag free the quartering, hashtag free Brittany Venti. I appreciate it. I'll keep you guys posted on the Eliza Bleu thing. Also keep me posted, by the way, because I can't fucking access Twitter. So keep me posted as well. And let me finish up super chats. Nunya $4.99 super chat. A victim is a victim. Oh yeah, I read that one. Dangerman $8.99 super chat. Disappointed with Musk for amplifying so many charlatans. I know. I hope he speaks on it soon. Have a good night, guys, and I really hope that we can fix this exploit on Twitter. And all these things are really unfortunate, but anyway, follow me on the places I'm not locked on, like Instagram, TikTok. Put the bell on YouTube. Like the stream. Like the stream. It's important. If you want to signal boost this whole thing and help remove this exploit, because this is not where it will end. It will happen again to another YouTuber. It can happen to you guys. Make sure that you put the word out. Like the stream. Anyway, support me on locals. I'm community funded. If you haven't noticed, I don't really take sponsors. So, or it's very, very rare. Yeah, anyway. Bye-bye. Oh, and this stream is sponsored by Chatstar.